A personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Mark Garcia of the Desert offensive line, and LA Valley thinking finally one going the other way. This one 15 yards. It'll turn 2nd and 10 into 2nd and 25. The Desert backed up to their 28. They're going to have to get across midfield to the 47 of LA Valley. Play clock will now start at 25. The officials requesting a time change. We'll add 7 seconds back to the clock. 10:27 to go in the second quarter. 7-0 Desert. Get on the fullback run by Miles. 2nd and 25, Desert from their 28. We'll have Swenson in the gun, 2 backs. Motion from right to left. And it's Walton, or Miller, excuse me, on the end around. Miller and out of bounds, left side around the 34. So credit Miller for 6. It'll still be 3rd and a long 19. Aside from the opening drive tonight, Desert's really struggled offensively. Not a whole lot in the playbook for 3rd and 19. They've tried a lot of deep balls, but have not been accurate on most of them. Screen pass to the left side. It's the fullback Miles. Miles catching it at the 35, and only a few more yards after, he's leveled out of bounds at the 39. 5-yard pickup, needed 19. And out comes Castellanos and the punting unit for Desert. Well, LA Valley a couple times tonight has thought they were going to get off the field on 3rd and 4th downs, only to have the defense sent right back out because of penalties. So Castellanos with 3 blockers in front of him standing at the 23. Castellanos a 34-yard average punting this season. Longest is 46. That one will bounce in the ground. He'll have to scoop it up. It's blocked. Ball is on the ground inside the 5. And scooped up. Romeo Gunt has it in the end zone. Touchdown, LA Valley.
And Aaron, it feels like we've seen that before, haven't we?
We have 2 fumble recoveries by the LA Valley defense last week, and Romeo Gunt blocks that. Well, the LA Valley blocks the punt. Romeo Gunt, after it exchanged hands a few times, picked it up inside the 5, got a push into the end zone. And Gunt, who's played good coverage all night long, into the end zone. Oh, no. It's coming back.
A penalty on the play. You don't see that happen too often.
Offsides against LA Valley. Well, I mean, if you're looking for a silver lining in this, at least it's not an automatic first down. True. But it takes a touchdown off the board. It was a huge momentum changer for LA Valley.
And you know, we mentioned head coach Matt White, former special teams coordinator. He must love that. He's got to emphasize special teams to this team. That's the forgotten phase of football.
It is going to be a game changer. Certainly the Monarchs had maybe the best special teams unit in the state. This snap bounced into the ground a second time, but Castellanos able to get a handle on it, this time at the 30-yard line. So didn't lose it this time, but still a good result. Not what they hoped for after the Gunt would have been touchdown. But LA Valley's going to have good field position at the 30-yard line. They've got 8:48 left in the first half, trailing 7-0. And defense has made some plays tonight. Special teams has made plays. Now it's time for the offense to step up.
They were gift wrapped that one just a little bit by that low snap with the bounce. But who else to be there for the tackle but Romeo Gunt? And really, the best case outcome that you could hope for LA Valley after having that touchdown called back, getting the ball at the 30-yard line, not so bad.
LA Valley trailing 7-0. We'll start at the Desert 30. Clarence Williams in at quarterback, working out of the gun. Takes a snap, plenty of time to throw. Throws towards the end zone. Intercepted at the 5 and taken away in the secondary by Darrell Lewis, freshman from Palm Desert Xavier College Prep High School. And that's a killer.
That's the third target tonight for Devin Hextall, that big 6'5 receiver that we've seen. Now, he was running deep. Williams, he just didn't put enough air underneath it with that big receiver. You want to throw it high, give him a chance to go up and get it over the defensive back. Instead, he just threw a straight line, a laser beam.
Well, they sent Williams in to hopefully maybe give the offense a spark, and instead throws the interception on the first play of the drive, a drive which LA Valley had great field position starting at the Desert 30. So now Desert will take over at their 14, armed with a 7-0 lead, 8:38 to play. In the first half, give it to Best on the ground, Best up the gut. Head of the 15, maybe to the 16. We'll call it a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Desert.
Brought down again by Brendan Cotilla Delgado. You know, really, the Monarchs just shooting themselves in the foot so far in this game. It looks like they've got the talent. It looks like they have the pieces in place. They just need to execute.
Shotgun throw on 2nd and 8. It's to the right side and caught by Idris Ramke.
What do you think? We'll call that a pickup of about 5?
Yeah, about 5, so it'll be 3rd and 2. Scoreboard said 4th down. Confused me for a second, but nope, it's 3rd down. 3rd and 2. Desert from their 22, and we'll get a timeout taken on the field. Timeout taken by Matt White and LA Valley. It's their first charge timeout of the half. It comes with 7:49 on the clock, and Desert leading 7-0. So obviously a huge 3rd down here. We don't need to say that twice.
No, this would be another great opportunity for the defense to step up, and let's just assume that they do that. Special teams makes the catch, no problem. Now it's time for the offense. The offense has to do something. They have to go out there. They can't have that Clarence Williams turnover. They can't have the offensive line allowing sacks or people getting hit in the backfield. They have to work their way down the field and finish.
Yeah, the offense has been all out of sorts tonight. Has put undue pressure on this defense to stay on the field for far too long. Defense is done pretty well, limiting the damage to 7 points.
Absolutely.
And they'll be asked
special
to
teams chipping in a touchdown there as well.
And they'll be asked to stand tall again on another 3rd down. 3rd down and 2. Desert will be at their 22 coming out of the timeout. So not a whole lot of yards of offense here. I've got Swenson, the quarterback, at only 37 yards passing in the first half. About 30 yards rushing as a team for Desert. So well under 100 yards thus far in the first half. Swenson will be out of the gun, 3rd and 2. He's got Best in the backfield over his right shoulder. 3 receivers stacked up on the left, 1 on the right. Here's the shotgun snap. Looking short over the middle and broken up, intended for Miller. And knocked into the ground. Good coverage on the play for LA Valley. Anthony Aguado, sophomore linebacker returning from William Taft High School nearby in Woodland Hills in the San Fernando Valley.
You know, Aaron, I really think that Aguayo's presence just threw off the timing there a little bit for Miller, wasn't able to reel it in.
Yeah, Aguado, a guy that defensive coordinator C.J. Claiborne really likes. He was the linebackers coach last season, then was promoted to defensive coordinator this year with Robert Tucker, head coach, who served as his own coordinator, taking that job with UC Davis. So Claiborne promoted. Aguado was one of his guys from a year ago and doing a good job tonight. Castellanos able to get the kick away from his 5. Lorick fields it at the 50. Lorick, an angle to the right side, running along the hash marks, takes it to the 40. So a 10-yard return for Jeremiah Lorick, following a 28-yard punt, only nets 18. And LA Valley has had good field position all night long. I think this is the 4th time they have been on the Desert side of the field. Let's see if they can cash it in.
Lorick, he looked shifty there. He made a man miss on the return. And for Castellanos, well, we saw that big leg. He was pinned back inside his own 10-yard line, got the ball well out to the 50 on a quick punt. Last week, he had 9 punts for 307 yards.
Yeah, it was asked to punt far too often, a 41-7 beating. Desert took in their opener against Saddleback, but on the right end of the scoreboard now, 7-0, halfway through the second quarter. So Clarence Williams threw the interception on the last drive, back in at quarterback. A work out of the gun on first down. Schick in the backfield, the freshman from Oklahoma. They fake the handoff, then throw to Lorick in the screen. Caught at the 40, right numbers 30, 20. Lorick at the 10, shimmies his way inside the 5, and finally brought down from behind. They'll mark him down at the 5-yard line, 35 yards on the completion. Clarence Williams to Jeremiah Lorick. And the Monarchs left first and goal at the 5.
And there we saw Gustavo Herrero, the big offensive lineman, 250 pounds on that screen pass. He comes up, peels back, absolutely crushed. I didn't catch the number on one of those Roadrunner defenders. That's what sprung the play loose. And then Lorick's, again, his shiftiness. He was able to make defenders miss. He looks silky smooth out there running with the ball.
Yeah, and I'm glad we can give the offensive line some credit on that play. They've been much maligned so far tonight with the lack of protection for Judd and for Williams. Williams out of the gun, first and goal from the 6. Then they move it back a yard. And delay of game. Couldn't get the snap off in time.
And if you're offensive coordinator Jason Vanderveer, that is frustrating when you can't get the play in on time and can't get it out. That's one of those fundamental things that you expect from your offense.
Oh, well, the penalties have been a killer all night long. I mean, they heard LA Valley last week as well, 130 yards of penalties, and about 6 or 7 of them tonight. So Williams out of the gun, first and goal from the 11. He's got Schick behind him in the backfield. Receiver and a tight end on the right side. Schick takes the handoff, follows the left guard, and only gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a half a yard on the gain. We'll call it no gain. Say it'll be second and goal from the 11.
Met by Shane London at the line of scrimmage, going nowhere.
Yeah, we've called Shane London's name a few times tonight, one of the anchors of this Desert defense. It was playing much better tonight than they did last week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Desert losing 41-7 in their opener. 4 defensive touchdowns given up. They gave up 2 special teams touchdowns as well in that game. Second and goal, LA Valley at the 11. A touchdown would tie it. 6 minutes to play in the first half. Williams takes a shotgun snap, fakes the handoff, rolls right on the play action, then under pressure can't get rid of the football. He's sacked all the way back at the 27-yard line. 16-yard loss on the play. Williams has got to get rid of that football.
Initially met by Joshua Gutierrez. Gutierrez not able to bring him down in the end, but he held it up long enough for his teammates to get to him. And you're absolutely right. Williams, he has to get rid of that ball. You can't get knocked back from the 11 to the 25.
So perhaps some of his lack of experience showing on that play. But, yeah, just get rid of the football. Then you have third and goal at the 11. Now it's third and goal from the 26. Your kicker is injured for the years. Now you have a backup kicker here, definitely out of field goal range, and basically 2 plays to get 26 yards. Third and goal from the 26. The shotgun snap, throwing downfield. We're going to get an interference, at least a holding call, hopefully an interference, as Jameer Bryson was the target, and he was bear hugged around the 10-yard line by a pair of defenders.
Yeah, well said, Aaron. That's going to be going against Derwin Johnson, number 36, the corner for the Desert Roadrunners.
So holding would be a 5-yard penalty. Interference would be half the distance to the goal.
And they will be replaying the down. And that's what we were hoping for.
A good break for the Monarchs as they call it interference instead of holding. The reason for that, an automatic first down, half the distance to the goal.
That's going to bring the ball out to the 17.
I think that was supposed to be half the distance to the goal. I thought the penalty occurred inside the 10, but nope, they're going to mark it at the 18. So first and 10 at the 18. Now we'll get a stoppage of play. I think the officials are going to talk things over and perhaps correct the spot. As it stands now, it's at the 18. It should be, I think, closer to the 13.
I agree.
But
it looked like that was definitely well past the 15-yard line when the flag was thrown. We saw the receiver just throw his arms up. That's really usually your indicator of where the penalty is occurring. And they're going to keep it at the 18, first and 10.
Well, the ball's still at the 18, which we believe is incorrect. But first and 10 at the 18 for LA Valley. Williams is in the gun. Has protection. Fade to the back corner of the end zone. Looking for Lorick. Dives. Tries to make the one-handed catch, but can't haul it in. double coverage on the play, and Lorick did everything he could, and now he's a little slow to get up.
Well, I know Lorick is a speedster there. Lots of weapons on the outside, by the way, here for LA Valley. But double coverage, Clarence Williams, maybe you want to look elsewhere than trying to pin the ball in that back corner of the end zone.
So Lorick helped up by some teammates, including Devin Hextall, fellow wide receiver. So Lorick's going to be depended on heavily this season as a leading receiver last week. Made some big plays last season as well. Counted on as one of the secondary receivers. Also, is going to be the primary return man. So obviously, LA Valley hopes that he is all right. Met his father, Craig, last season. Very nice guy. Made the drive from Oak Hills, California. 5:04 to play in the first half. 7-0 Desert. LA Valley looking to tie it up. 2nd and 10 from the Desert 18. Williams, the shotgun snap. Looking for Bryson over the middle on a slant. Broken up, and then Bryson thrown to the ground. He's looking for maybe a late flag on that play, but officials say nope, just part of the continuation defensively. And it'll stay 3rd and 10 from the 18.
That's a good no call from the officials. And, we've seen Coach Vanderveer really push those slants all night long. Well, on this one, the quarterback actually hit him. Bryson just needs to come down with that.
A 3rd and 10, LA Valley at the Desert 18. It'll be a 35-yard field goal from here, perhaps out of range. So maybe 4-down territory. Williams under pressure, tucks with the right arm and runs. Stays on his feet at the 15, dives forward to the 11. So he's got 7 of the 10 yards he needed. Good job on the second effort. It'll be 4th and 3. I've got to think they're going to leave the offense on the field rather than going for a 28-yard field goal with a backup kicker.
I'm not so sure. I almost think that you want the points on the board, but you know what? Coach White agrees with you.
Well, if they had Anton, who was supposed to be the kicker this season, I think maybe they think differently, but 4th and 3 from the 11. Williams looking over to his sidelines.
Austin
Matt White
flirting with the line of scrimmage there.
Play clock is at 5. There's already been one delay of game on this drive. They get the snap off. Fake the handoff to Shante Smith. Williams looking into the end zone, gets gobbled up behind the 20. And down he goes. End of drive, no points. And again, issues of protection on this offensive line for LA Valley.
And who else but Shane London on the sack?
And Shane London's made a huge name for himself. I believe that's 3 sacks for him in the first half.
I feel like every time LA Valley has the ball, I'm calling Shane London's name.
Well, certainly a candidate for a defensive player of the night. 4:07 to play in the first half, 7-0. Desert still maintaining their lead. LA Valley has threatened time after time after time with field position, but just can't get it into the end zone.
That's 3 times inside the Roadrunners' 30-yard line. No points.
So this drive will start at the 20 for Swenson and company for Desert. He'll give it away to Best. Best horizontally towards the left sideline and only gets about 2 yards vertically. It's called a gain of 2. 2nd and 8 coming up. So it's been running back by committee for Desert. Their leading rusher from a week ago, Jeremiah Whitmore, has not touched the ball tonight. Instead, it's been Williams, Best, and Miles, the fullback, who ran for the touchdown on the opening drive of the game. No scoring since then, still 7-0. Shotgun snap on 2nd down, thrown over the middle and intercepted at the 40-yard line, LA Valley. That has taken away a much-needed turnover for this defense. Alan Ortega in the secondary comes away with it.
That's the 3rd pass tonight that we've seen tipped up where multiple players have touched it. First one to come away intercepted, a little bit surprising. Heck of a play by the LA Valley defense, however, with 3:30 to go in the half, down by only a touchdown, getting the ball once again on the Roadrunner side of the field. This is the time to capitalize, tie up the game going into the half.
Yeah, by my count, this is the 5th time LA Valley has had the ball on the Desert side of the field. They'll start at the 40 following the Alan Ortega interception. 3:31 to play in the first half. 7-0 Desert. They scored on their opening drive. No scoring by either side since then, so 7-0 is where we stand. But Kalawaya Judd back in at quarterback. Working out of the gun. Pistol formation. Fakes the handoff, looking downfield on the play action, going for it all into the end zone. And well overthrown. Matthew Mattingly was about 10 yards in front of that football.
And Judd gets leveled at the end of that play. Brought down by number 53, who is not on our roster.
And Jerice Thomas in coverage, by the way, on that play. And Kalawaya Judd, he's been hit hard a number of times tonight. Still not 100% after his knee injury a year ago. Only played in 2 games. Now a sophomore, native of Hawaii.
And you can see he's a little bit shaken up. However, he's been very impressive with his presence in the pocket. He's able to step up to avoid some of that pressure.
It's certainly fearless, and with the play clock down to 2, and LA Valley still not ready to snap the ball, be forced to call their 2nd of 3 timeouts, coming with 3:23 on the clock, and 7-0 Desert scored on their opening drive. Miles, the fullback, a 1-yard touchdown run on a 3rd and goal. LA Valley is threatened, but unable to really carry out those threats at any time. They had 1st and goal starting at the 6 on their last drive, eventually moved backwards, a drive that finished up at their 20 following a sack on 4th down. So penalties have been a killer, mostly on the defensive end, but don't forget when they had the first and goal at the 6, a false start moved them back to the 11, a couple of sacks moved them as far back as the 26. LA Valley needs to be more disciplined. They need better protection. And really, regardless of that, they just need points.
The 4th thing that I would agree with everything you said there. I loved your word discipline. Because if we take away those penalties on the first defensive series of the game, it's a 0-0 game right now. The 4th thing I would add to that is they need to execute. Because they've been running the slants all night long. It's a great route. Guys, get open on that. That's what you need to do. Get your players in space. Give them a chance to make a move with the ball. The quarterbacks, half the time, they're missing the receivers. And then when they are hitting the receivers, they're not catching it. If they can execute on that, they should be able to get some points.
Right, the opportunities certainly have been there, particularly on those slants. 2nd and 10, LA Valley at the Desert 40, trailing 7-0, 3.5 to play in the first half. Play action, dumping it off left side in the flat. 1st down and more. The ball comes out at the 25. Desert says they have it.
Certainly looked like they recovered it. Oh, they're saying he was down.
Yeah, Terrell Love lost the football. He got to the 24, a 16-yard gain, and now down by contact. The initial ruling, although now it looks like they are going to give the football to Desert. No, now LA Valley has the ball. Yeah, Kalawaya Judd staying on the field in the offensive huddle for LA Valley, so I think even some of the players didn't know whose ball this was supposed to be.
The officials making us do a little bit of guesswork here.
89 yards passing for Judd tonight. First catch of the night for Love. That one good for 16 yards. And we 1st and 10 at the Desert 24. Judd out of the gun. Avoids 1 sack. Rolling to his right. Throws downfield. Caught by Bryson at the 10. And Bryson quickly pushed out of bounds. 13 more yards. It'll be a 1st and goal for LA Valley.
There's more of that awareness I was talking about from Kilauea Judd. He's able to step back, roll out to the right. Got a very fortuitous block from number 75, his right tackle. That's Martin Ibarra. Rolls out, finds Bryson. That's the kind of play they need. That's execution.
7-0 Desert. LA Valley threatening. 1st and goal for the 2nd straight possession. This time they'll try to cash in. 1st and goal at the 10. Judd in the gun. He's got 2 receivers on the left side, 1 on the right. Pitch it, right side, 5, and out of bounds. He goes Gary Gandy. He's got 5 of the 10 yards. Going to be 2nd and goal from the 5.
You know, Aaron, it looks like Jeremiah Lorick's feeling okay. When you're running the option to your side and you're the receiver, you have to come back, crack down on one of those linebackers or defensive backs, depending on what the defense is running. He absolutely launched himself at the defense there.
2 minutes to play. 2nd and goal, LA Valley at the 5, trying to tie this game. They trail 7-0. Judd clapping his hands. Play clock is down to 7. Take the snap. Fade, left side, back corner to the end zone. Overthrown, out of bounds. Looking for Faison Knight. Falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd and goal, staying at the 5.
And Judd seems like he's warming up here a little bit. He's playing better as the game goes on, kind of settling into a groove. Unfortunately, only 1:45 left to go in the half, so he can't just continue through that.
Right, sometimes a little difficult to get too comfortable when you have the 2 quarterback system. They've used Clarence Williams tonight as well. The 3rd and goal, LA Valley from the 5. Gandy in the backfield. They fake the handoff Judd looking into the end zone, throws right, skids it into the ground as it bounces at the 3. And really nowhere close to Shaq Anderson, who was the only guy remotely in the area.
Smart play by Judd. Better to have the chance at a field goal here, or if you're going for it on 4th down, the shorter attempt than to force a turnover in the end zone there.
Well, I think they just want points here, but well, we'll see. See what they do. They still do have a timeout in their pocket. Craig Jones will attempt what amounts to a 22-yard field goal. He was only 1 for 3 on extra points last week, 2 of them blocked. It's pitched to Clarence Williams, the holder, who stands up, runs towards the goal line, and stopped at the 3. So they faked it. I don't know about that. The middle of the field was so jam-packed, and everybody there, because it's almost a goal line defense with how close they were to the end zone. I think you would have had a better chance maybe running a play to one of the sides rather than up the middle.
You know, it was a creative thought there from Matt White and his special teams. However, at a certain point, you just need to get some points on the board. And I understand it's not every drive that you get down to the 5-yard line. But for LA Valley, it has been almost every drive tonight that they get inside the red zone. You need to have some points to show for that. Points can lead to momentum, and then you can carry that into the second half.
Second straight drive. They had a 1st and goal and do not come up with points. Swenson in the end zone, chased from the blind side, thrown into the ground, stripped of the football, and a touchdown, LA Valley. Well, I thought they were going to get the safety initially, but no, stripping the ball out of the hands was Devaris Howard, sophomore linebacker out of Miami.
Howard came in and just obliterated Swenson there. He hit him what looked to be high around the shoulders in the middle of the throwing motion. That popped the ball out. Easy scoop and score in the end zone there, and the defense comes up big.
And no flags on the field, most importantly. LA Valley thought they had a blocked punt returned for a touchdown earlier by Romeo Gunt. Flag took that one away. This one will stand. Craig Jones, his extra point is up, and it is good. So Jones good on his first opportunity. So the strip sack by Howard picks up the fumble in the end zone. And LA Valley, with 1:26 to play in the first half, ties it up at 7.
And now they're back in the game. They have that mojo. You can look on the sideline and you can feel they've got some of the energy, while as the Roadrunners are walking away, they look a little bit deflated here.
Well, it looked like it would be a safety. Instead, they get the touchdown, and you're right. I'm looking at some of the body language on the sidelines for LA Valley. It's like they've suddenly come to life. Some guys dancing there. Amir Postley, linebacker among others, grooving those arms and legs, and you could sense things turning a corner now for LA Valley. It was just a matter of time with how good this defense is before they make a play like that. They had 2 fumble recoveries for touchdowns in the 4th quarter alone last week was really the key to the victory. I know the 99-yard touchdown drive for the offense ultimately gave them the lead, but without those 2 fumble touchdowns by the defense, Monarchs don't win the game.
Well, now it appears as though the defense is stepping up. The offense needs to continue to find their rhythm, which they're doing slowly but surely with Judd at quarterback.
Kick will come from the 40 at Shallow, fielded at the 17. And not much room to run. Up to about the 28 goes Williams. We'll call it an 11-yard gain for Williams, who's been used mostly as a receiver tonight, but this time gets an opportunity to return the football. Desert will start at their 28. So Desert's offense looked good on their opening drive. Should have been a 3-and-out, but penalty on 4th down during the punt allows them to keep the football. They benefited from 2 more penalties, including a pass interference later on that drive. Eventually punch it in. 1-yard touchdown run by the fullback Miles. Led 7-0 until just a moment ago when Howard, the linebacker for LA Valley, strip sack fumble recovery in the end zone, tied the game up at 7. The Desert will have 1:20 and 1 timeout to work with beginning at their 29, trying to retake the lead. Swenson, out of the gun, quick throw to the right side and nowhere to go. Well covered by LA Valley.
Great break on the ball there by Craig Jones, stepping up.
A reception made by Elijah Delgado, 6'3" receiver for Desert.
And the key here is to watch the clock. We just went under 1 minute and a half.
Swenson throwing right side this time. A little miscommunication on the route as Jackson Thought it was going to be over his right shoulder, turned inside. The throw came to the left shoulder, which was outside. Falls incomplete. And it will be third down and 4. Desert at their 35, and LA Valley looking for another third down stand.
And what's been working so far for LA Valley on defense is bringing the pressure. I would expect to see a blitz here to try to shake up Swenson once again.
Well, they got him on the last drive in the end zone. Strip sack, fumble for a touchdown. Swenson out of the gun, 3rd and 4 from his 35. We're tied at 7. Throw to the right side, caught for a first down at the 41.
The ball came out there at the end.
Did he hold it long enough? Will be the question. Only need 1 foot down in college. So the standard certainly lower than in the NFL.
It's close. I think it's going to be a first.
Well, the catch is good. That much, it appears, has been decided. Now it's a question of the spot. It's one official jogging really right along that 40-yard line. And now we get the signal. It is enough for the first down. So they needed 4. They got 4. And the chains move 1st and 10 at the 40. Desert still on their side of the field. 45 seconds to work with. Swenson shotgun snap throwing over the middle. It's taken away again. Taken away by LA Valley. Their second interception in the first half. 40, 35. Still on his feet goes Taylor Manuel. Manuel zigzagging inside the hash marks to the 35. Flag is back at the 43. But that was well after the interception, which no doubt that should stand. So Taylor Manuel had the fumble recovery for a touchdown last week. Gets an interception now. You can hear the crowd coming to life below us on our crowd mic. I can really hear it in my earpiece here.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing like a big defensive, back-to-back defensive plays, actually, to get them into it. And Taylor Manuel, he's really been the heart and soul of this defense so far this season.
Yeah, Romeo Gunt guilty of a hold during the interception return, but most importantly, the interception stands. So I think the 10 yards for the interception, a fair trade. Matt White will take that any day of the week. 29 seconds for LA Valley. They have 1 timeout. And now they have momentum on their side. Gotten a few turnovers here. 3 of them, 3 turnovers here in the first half. 2 interceptions, a strip sack, which was recovered for a touchdown. Tied at 7, LA Valley beginning at their 48 following the Taylor Manuel interception. Judd hot of the gun. Throws short over the middle. Flag comes out. It was caught by Shante Smith. Gain of only 1 at the 49. We'll see what the flag's about before we set up the second down play.
The flag thrown deep down the field at the 38-yard line, kind of in the area where you would expect some sort of defensive holding on the secondary.
Yeah, it was on the opposite side of the field where the catch was made. Smith caught it on the left side. The flag came out on the right. Well, they only got 1 yard on the catch, but add 15 more to the end of it. So LA Valley, instead of standing at midfield, will be at the 35 of Desert. 23 seconds and a timeout in their pocket. Clock ticking, though, at 20. LA Valley still in the huddle.
I don't think they're aware that the clock is running.
Well, now they're hurrying. I mean, they either should have taken the timeout or spiked the ball. So Judd waiting for the snap. Looks like they're just going to go for one Hail Mary. They fake a handoff, air it out to the end zone, and intercepted.
All they have to do is bring him down, and then that'll end the half.
Intercepted 15, 30, 40, and knocked down at the 45.
That's Judd on the hit. The quarterback coming over to tackle the defensive back. I believe that was Jared Gibson with the pick, and Judd on the tackle.
Well, I would have liked to seen him maybe take 2 shots at the end zone there with maybe taking the timeout. But, LA Valley gets momentum on their side. They get the late touchdown in the second quarter. Howard with the strip sack, fumble recovery. Taylor Manuel, late interception at the end of the quarter, as well as the defense carrying things. Come back in a few moments, recap the second half, look ahead to the second half tonight. Tied at 7 at halftime on SportsNetUSA.net. just before the team took the field in the second half, and Kalawaya Judd banged up. They said he's only about 60% right now, so good chance we'll see Williams the rest of the way. Williams gives it away to Shante Smith on first down, run to the right side, picks up about 4 to the 46. It'll be 2nd and 6. So LA Valley struggled to get a running game going last week. 40 carries, 82 yards, and not a whole lot going on tonight either. Smith, by my count, only has 5 yards on the night. Less than 20 as a team for LA Valley. And as the season goes on, they're definitely going to need more of a ground presence. 2nd down and 7. They'll spot the ball at the 47. Williams in the gun. Smith in the backfield again. Williams all day to throw. Throwing over the middle and in and out of the hands of the intended target. That was Devin Hextall. Hextall looking one way. The throw came in the other over the opposite shoulder.
You know, Hextall, he's really looked like their number 1 receiver tonight. He's been the guy that they've gone to in these big moments. Just the timing has not been there, and especially when you bring in Clarence Williams, the backup quarterback, with Kalawaya Judd being a little shaken up in this game, the offense has not looked smooth.
No, and keep in mind sometimes, too, one quarterback may be more comfortable with certain receivers than the other one is. They've used 2 quarterbacks tonight. It's Williams on this drive, perhaps the rest of the night, with Judd being banged up. Took a lot of hard hits in the first half. 3rd down and 7 from the Desert 47. Throw to the right side, tipped in the air. Hits the turf, incomplete. And out comes the punting unit. So 3 and out for LA Valley to start the second half. Tied at 7. And what is, well, as the score would indicate, been a defensive struggle. Desert scored on their opening possession, went 63 yards. Benjamin Miles, the fullback, ran it in on a 3rd and goal from the 1. Desert's been held off the scoreboard since then. LA Valley's only touchdown, a DeVaris Howard strip sack fumble in the end zone. For a touchdown at the end of the second quarter.
And there's a fake.
Punt. The punter pitches it on an end-around fake punt. But not even close to the first down. They didn't even get back to midfield. And that took everybody by surprise except the defense on the field. DeAndre Dorsey was the recipient of that pitch.
Yeah, that was a great play by the special teams unit on Desert. We saw number 46, Daniel Rodriguez, come up and make the stop. They weren't fooled by that for one moment.
No, LA Valley failed on a fake field goal opportunity inside the 5-yard line, and now have failed on a fake punt. Desert, the beneficiary, will have good field position starting at the 47 of LA Valley. It's a direct snap to Williams, the running back. Hands it off to Best. Best with room to run on the right side. Takes it 27 yards all the way to the 20-yard line. That's the longest run of the night for Desert. 27 yards on that one. Now 49 yards on the evening for Best. He's the leading ball carrier for the offense.
And for Desert, quarterback Tristan Swenson, nowhere to be seen.
No, Best will be the quarterback in the T formation. This time Best taking a shot to the back corner of the end zone. Jump ball nearly picked off by LA Valley. Jason Thompson in the secondary had his hands on it. Just couldn't secure it against his chest as he went to the ground, backpedaling.
I think that might have been the prettiest spiral I've seen tonight.
It was. There was actually the throw looked pretty. Obviously, it wasn't where it needed to be. As LA Valley had a much better look at it than did Desert. But incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up from the 20.
And with Swenson being out, you have to wonder, do you think he was shaken up on that strip sack in the end zone?
Well, perhaps. I mean, Howard
destroyed him on that
He
play.
did. I mean, that was a hard hit. Handoff Williams, and Williams powering up the middle, takes it to the 11. Gets 9 of the 10 yards he needed. 3rd down and a short 1 coming up.
Beautiful, tough running from Williams. Anytime your running back on the handoff, it gets into the secondary, you know it's going to be a good play.
You know, Williams, a freshman from Indio, which is just a little bit further east on the 10 from Palm Desert, where College of the Desert is from. Shotgun snap to Best. Gives it away on 3rd down. They keep it on the ground. It's going to be close to the first down marker. Officials look to be about an inch or two behind the 10, which is right around where they need to be. May even require a measurement. Williams, the ball carrier.
At the moment, they're marking it as 4th down. They're not even saying a measurement. It's just going to stay as 4th down and less than 1.
And Jack Steptoe, head coach, not putting up much of a fight demanding that measurement. So fourth and inches. Best under center. Quarterback sneak. Didn't get it on the first effort. Did he get it on the second? It's going to be close.
Taylor
Looks like he
Manuel
has
of
it.
LA Valley thought that they stopped it, but
And the officials signal that it is enough for the first down. He didn't need much.
it was that second effort, like you said. He was able to bounce off the first hit, squirm his way forward on the second attempt, and that got it.
So 50 yards rushing for Best, who is now serving as the quarterback on this drive. So both teams with quarterback changes to start the second half.
And now we have a new quarterback in.
And now this is 18. Throw to the back of the end zone and caught Elijah Delgado wide open in the end zone. Caught from Noah Showman. His first throw of the night, freshman out of Murray, Utah.
Noah Showman comes in for one play, 1 touchdown.
Well, LA Valley looked fooled.
Nerves of steel on that one.
So 10 yards, Showman to Delgado. He was wide open in the right corner of that end zone. And Showman will now hold on the play. And, well, with how good that throw looked, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more of him. Castellanos' extra point is up, and it is no good. Wide right. So Desert will get 6 and only 6. So LA Valley's defense not as strong to open the second half as they were last week. Just 15 defensive yards allowed in the second half against Cerritos a week ago. They already give up about 50 on that drive.
Well, I have to say, Aaron, I'm surprised. I thought LA Valley, they had the momentum there. I really thought the defense would come out chomping at the bit, wanting to continue where they left off. But going into that Wildcat formation with Love as the quarterback and running from that really threw them off. And then to bring in Showman for that touchdown, the fade route in the end zone.
Well, it's as good as the offense has looked all night for Desert, even more so than their opening drive touchdown, because that was mostly LA Valley penalties.
Not aided by penalties on this one, just good execution.
No, just high quality offense. Castellanos, after missing the extra point, will kick from left to right from the 35-yard line. Kick is high. It's into the end zone. Lorick will field it 7 yards deep, take a knee. And LA Valley will start at their 20.
Wisely taking a knee there as Bryson comes over and just tells him, no, stay there. Sometimes you need someone to tell you not to take it out if the coverage is too good.
Yeah, in high school in California, you're not even allowed to return the ball out of the end zone. So I think some of these guys just want to do it. It's the first time they're allowed to do it now that they're at the college level. But 7 yards deep with the rushers coming. Wise choice to take a knee. And LA Valley will trail for a second time tonight. Trailed 7-0 earlier. Took them about 25 minutes or so of game time to erase that deficit. Tied it at 7 at the end of the first half. And now trailing 13-7.
With a new quarterback in.
Third quarterback tonight. Shotgun snap, looking for Bryson on the right side of the field, and incomplete. It's Julius Sebastiano, freshman from Winnetonka High School.
And again, he hits Bryson in the hands there. He should catch that.
He should, and now we'll look at 2nd and 10 from the 25. Sebastiano working out of the gun. 2nd and 10, slant over the middle, low throw into the ground, can't handle it. As Bryson went to a knee, tried to just secure it against his chest at the 30. Incomplete. 3rd and 10 coming up.
Defended by Darrell Lewis, the number 21, the cornerback for Desert. Looked like he might have gotten there just a touch early.
Yeah, definitely interfered with Bryson's ability to catch that ball, but it was a poor throw into the ground. 3rd-string quarterback on the field, Sebastiano. We're told Judd is down to 50-60%. Doubt we're going to see him the rest of the way. Sebastiano in the gun. Schick in the backfield. More protection. Here comes the blitz. Dump it off on a screen. It's caught by Ordonez. Ordonez close to the first down. Loses the football at the 36. LA Valley fortunate to fall on it. Flag comes out at the end of the play. It looked like there was a Now Zamin recovering that fumble. Number 54 on your screen.
And the way that you saw Orona's neck twist a little bit, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a face mask there on the defense.
I'll wait for the officials to diagnose the penalty. As it stands now, it's a 10-yard completion, enough for a first down.
That's going to tack on another 15 there.
And that's indeed the call. So 10 yards on the completion, 15 more on the face mask penalty.
Now we're seeing LA Valley receive those penalties, finally aiding the offense.
Oh, killed them in the first half. 3 defensive penalties on the opening drive. What should have been a 3-and-out turned into a touchdown for Desert.
Almost spotted them 7 points.
Yeah, Desert leads 13-7 now. LA Valley on the move. 11 minutes to go in the third. 1st and 10 from the enemy 38. Keep it on the ground. That's a keeper, Sebastiano. Crosses the 45 up to about the 44. So 4 yards for Sebastiano. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
You know, now when we get down to these third-string quarterbacks, I think what you want to look out for is we're going to get a lot of misdirection. We're going to get some simplified plays, easier to execute, but also nothing that's going to demand too much of them. So I don't think we'll see a lot of these fades. I don't think we'll see anything too complex. A lot of those screens and misdirections.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Faison Knight. And the football will move back 15 yards, so give the penalty yardage right back. And even more devastating than that for an offense that's struggling. 2nd and 6 now becomes 2nd and 21. The official called first down. It is 2nd down, though, just to clarify it. It's 2nd and 21. LA Valley at their 41. 3rd-string quarterback Sebastiano in. Schick, the freshman running back from Oklahoma, behind him. 4-receiver set. Quick throw to the left sideline. It's hauled in by Lorick. And can't stop the left foot from going out of bounds before he had a chance to turn upfield.
Beautiful hitch there from Lorick. Just a nice, easy pitch and catch there from the quarterback to the receiver. It's a good high-percentage play. Get him into that rhythm as he comes into this game. 2nd
catch for Lorick tonight. He's got 42 yards. First time he's caught one from Sebastiano, who has 2 completions, 17 yards on this drive. Sebastiano will stay in the gun. 3rd and 14. LA Valley at their 48. 10 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, trailing 13-7. The shotgun snap. Fake the handoff to Schick. Sebastiano takes off with it himself. In between the hash marks ahead of the 40. Has the first down at the 37.
Wow.
15 yards for Sebastiano, getting it done with his legs.
It's almost like they greased him up beforehand. He's slippery. Can't bring him down.
No, and impressive for LA Valley, overcoming a 2nd and 21 situation with a 3rd-string quarterback on the field. Offense has struggled all night long. In fact, the offense hasn't scored. It was a defensive touchdown at the end of the 2nd quarter for LA Valley. So 1st and 10. LA Valley at the enemy 37. Sebastiano out of the shotgun, floats it down the right side. And we're going to get an interference penalty. Devin Hextall, the target. He was open, and then the quarterback turned the opposite way, just ran into him backwards. An easy call for the official.
That's pretty fortunate there because Sebastiano actually underthrew that ball quite a bit, unless they were planning to run the comeback there. But either way, works out great for LA Valley. The corner was just put in a no-win situation.
Yeah, there was not a lot of muscle on that throw, and with Hextall having the jump on the corner, I figure if you put a little more juice on that ball, throw it a little harder, perhaps could have led him on stride into the end zone. But instead, the slow throw held the ball up. Fortunately, they get the interference call. And now Eneliko Tooley in the secondary, guilty of the penalty out of 29 Palms High School. 1st and 10 following the 15-yard penalty. LA Valley at the 23 of Desert, marching toward what would be a game-tying touchdown. Extra point could give them the lead. Sebastiano out of the gun. Keep it on the ground.
He's in.
Opening on the right side. 5. Touchdown. Jordan Palmer on his first run of the night. Palmer listed as a defensive back. They bring him in for the running game. A 23-yard touchdown run on his first carry of the season. And LA Valley an extra point away from the lead. We're tied at 13.
Now it'll be interesting to see bringing Romeo Gunt on for the extra point. Right now, this is for the lead.
It is. Kicking has been an issue for them this season. 2 for 4 on extra points is LA Valley this year. Make that 3 for 5. As the kick is up from Craig Jones, it is up and good. 14-13, LA Valley with 9:20 to play in the third.
And it's funny how that works, Aaron. The team without the kicker uses their improvised kicker to go ahead by 1.
Well, it hasn't been pretty tonight, but the result, I guess, is good if you're on the right end of the scoreboard. So for Matthew White, a couple of close games to start his head coaching career. White, just 27 years old, became the interim coach in December after serving as a 2-year special teams coach under Robert Tucker. Tucker took the defensive coordinator job at Division I UC Davis. And after about 6 months as the interim coach, White finally got the promotion from Jim Fenwick, our athletic director here, former head coach, by the way, Jim Fenwick of LA Valley. And this is his job for hopefully the foreseeable future. 27 years old, youngest college head coach in the United States.
Wow.
An opportunity he's excited for, and described the game last week against Cerrito, said it was a combination of good luck and good coaching. Took a little bit of the credit, but said most of it belonged to his players executing down the stretch. He got a Gatorade bath at the end of it. Got the first win on his ledger, hoping for number 2. LA Valley, by the way, is the longest winning streak in the state at 16 games, going back to the last 5 games of the 2015 campaign. 14-13 the lead for the Monarchs. They will kick it away to Desert. Fielded at the 15-yard line, it's Williams, and Williams running along the left hash out to about the 27 or so. So we'll call it a 15-yard return. Desert will begin a generous spot at the 30, so 18-yard return. Desert will begin at their 30 with 9:14 to go in the third, trailing 14-13.
And now as the LA Valley defense comes onto the field, they've got an adjustment to make. We don't know who the quarterback is going to be for the Roadrunners. So typically in this situation, what you'll see is the defense tends to get a little bit less aggressive, play a little bit more vanilla. They're not going to rush as much. They're going to be safe, not let anyone get behind them.
Well, it'll be Best in the gun on first down, T formation with a back to each side, inside handoff. So he'll give it away and only back to about the 31. So by the way, just before the snap, the official moved the ball back to the 28. It was the 27, then the 30, then the 28, but settled at the 28. So a 3-yard carry to the 31. Second down and 7 coming up. Hurry up offense. Best again running the T formation.
Running the triple option out of this formation. As long as that defensive end stays on the left sideline, the sideline at the bottom of your screen, stays there at the line of scrimmage, he's going to give it to the running back on the dive, who will run right through the line of scrimmage.
We're seeing Demetrius Whitmore in the backfield for the first time. He was the leading rusher last week against Saddleback, but did not play at all in the first half. Movement on the line of scrimmage, free play. They'll take the shot down the field, and now I think the play was blown dead. I think Best just threw the ball anyway.
A little target practice.
Yeah, for LA Valley, it was number 40, left defensive end Devon Parks, who jumped off sides. Parks out of Sylmore High School in the San Fernando Valley, about 15, 20 miles from here.
Yeah, and unfortunately, when it's 3rd and 5 and you jump off sides, well, that's a first down.
The Desert has been the beneficiary of several gimme first downs, even one on 4th down, coming out on a punt attempt. So 1st and 10, Desert at the 39-yard line, their side of the field. Give it away left side, it's Whitmore, and Whitmore to the 45, getting around the left tackle. 6 yards on the first down run by Whitmore. He's got 11 yards on 3 carries tonight, all of them on this drive.
Whitmore running hard. That's the first time we've called his name tonight.
Yeah, Whitmore didn't play at all in the first half. We figured that he would get the lion's share of the carries tonight. It hasn't worked out that way, but now making up for it here on this drive. Best out of the gun, taking another shot deep downfield, well covered though, and falling incomplete. Intended target was Tyus Evans, who burned the Saddleback secondary for a 75-yard touchdown in the 4th quarter last week. But no such luck this time. Very good coverage on the play all the way for LA Valley.
Still a nice throw from Best to come in, give his receiver, his speedy receiver, a chance down the field. And then a great no call by the refs because there was a little bit of contact. But you have to allow for a little bit of playing.
3rd and 4, Desert from their 44. Best out of the gun, fakes the handoff, takes off with it himself to the right side. Nearly tackled at the 40, stays on his feet, gets to the sidelines 50, and close to the 40 on the LA Valley side of the field. Some pushing and shoving at the end of the play. Well, luckily, cooler heads prevail. No flags come out. It's still a long run by Best, the former running back, now the quarterback for Desert, and a first down pickup.
There's a couple of running backs out there for Desert. And as I said earlier, they're running this option offense that saw number 5, Tony Williams, on the right side along with Best. Well, he was expecting to get the pitch, but Best, well, he wasn't giving it up. So what did he do? He sent Williams out. As soon as Williams got the message, he became the lead blocker, and that led to him getting enough yardage for the first down.
So Best in the shotgun, 2 running backs to his left side. And flags come out before the snap, delay of game. Well, one official overrule says they called a timeout just before the 0 on the play clock. So timeout before first down, 1st and 10, Desert from the LA Valley 48. LA Valley with a 14-13 lead, and really one word, ugly, to describe this contest. It hasn't been pretty by any means. Been a couple nice plays, but mostly a defensive struggle. A lot of blown throws, a lot of dropped passes, missed blocks.
That is correct. However, in this second half, Desert, they've been executing their offense much better. They're only one missed PAT away from being tied. They've been very impressive here in the third quarter. I felt that LA Valley, well, they were a little bit fortunate with some of the things that happened on their last drive. I know they scored. It was a great run at the end there by number 6, Jordan Palmer, to get that in. However, getting the fortunate pass interference or having Sebastiano have that slippery 14-yard run on 3rd and 14, those are the things that are harder to replicate.
Desert trying to answer, trailing 14-13, 7:12 to go third quarter, coming out of the timeout. 1st and 10 from the LA Valley 38. Franklin Miller on the end around, and Miller stuffed for a loss behind the 50. Stopped at the 47. It's a loss of 5 on the play. LA Valley not fooled at all by the motion.
And Fernay Aguado, the linebacker, who also looks like he's spending quite a bit of time at DN tonight, not fooled, kept his contain, brought him down.
Yeah, Aguado, returning player from last year's defensive squad, which was arguably the best in the state. 2nd down and 15. Desert from their 47. They'll keep it on the ground. Run to the left side. And nothing going on that way.
So, folks, a key in this option offense, which, again, they keep coming at us with. The defensive end on the bottom of your screen, number 40 for LA Valley, Devon Parks. He's the player you want to watch. If he rushes towards the quarterback when he gets the snap, he'll keep it and run out. If he doesn't, he's going to hand it off on the dive.
So 2 yards for Whitmore on 2nd down, 3rd and 13. Desert at their 48. It's a pitch, and it is Williams on the move. Williams cutting along the left hash, 45, close to the 40. Not enough for the first down, but he got 12 of the 13 yards he needed. And perhaps close enough that Coach Steptoe will think about leaving the offense on the field. It appears that's what they will do.
That's a good call. That made me just nervous. It's not great when the safety has to come up to make the tackle on the running back that should have been tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
4th and 1, Desert at the LA Valley 40. T formation. Desert trailing by a point. 5.5 minutes to play in the third. Shotgun snap to Best. Gives it away Whitmore. Whitmore close to the marker. Both sides pointing in their direction, thinking they made the play. Only the official's call will matter.
I think he's going to be short.
Well, we're going to get a measurement. So the ball is spotted a little bit short of the 38.
Oh, well, based on that spot, I don't know now. It appears they moved it forward just a touch, doesn't it?
You know, LA Valley obviously hoping that it'll be a little short. They'll get the ball back. It'll be another defensive stand for the Monarchs, who have given up a touchdown to start the first half, a touchdown to start the second half. But other than that, have played well otherwise. And
he's
short of the first down. Yeah, you could see it on your screen. Was It's not as close as it looked from up here initially.
No, it was not. Sometimes that's what happens with the chains being on the far side of the field, and you just can't see as well.
It's a 4th down stand for the LA Valley defense, 5:27 to play in the third quarter, and Sebastiano, third-string quarterback, led the offense downfield for a touchdown. Will get a second crack at it. As the quarterback, he'll work out of the gun. 1st and 10 from his 39. 1-point lead for the Monarchs, 14-13. 2 men in the backfield. Looking downfield, floats it for Lorick, and intercepted. Intercepted by Desert at the 50. Lost the football on the ground near the 40. That was Tahir Johnson with the interception. Lost it on the fumble. LA Valley says they have it.
You could hear that hit from up here. You could feel the energy in the crowd. Everyone was stomping.
So Lorick was the intended target. Tahir Johnson took it away, jumped the route. Ball hung up in the air way too long.
Clever play call there, faking the quick hitch, which is the smart move with having your third-string quarterback in. Gets the ball out of his hands quickly, and then sending Lorick up with the speedster. If he gets the ball out there, you have to think he's got a chance to score. But like you said, number 9, Tahir Johnson, well, he was not falling for that at all, playing center field. He just came over, scooped it up.
So that's the second interception for Desert tonight. Other one coming from Jarrell Lewis. So officials still trying to decide whose football it is. The LA Valley offense is on the field, though. I see Jeremiah Lorick.
You have to think that they're going to keep the ball here.
Yeah, Sebastiano joining the huddle as well. There's the flag on the field, so the officials, in addition to discussing whose ball it is, I think it's been decided it's LA Valley's ball. The question now is where the spot's going to be after they enforce this penalty, whatever it may be.
Right, and we're not clear there. In this kind of situation, it really could be anything. It tends to go against the receiving team for some sort of late hit, personal foul. Some people up here are speculating that because he was out of bounds and when he was hit, that could be a penalty. Based on Tahir Johnson's response, it looks like it might be going against the Desert, however.
Well, the field position game is so important to both clubs with the way they're struggling offensively most of the night. So Matt White pointing at his players, telling them to make sure they don't creep too close to the field. We've already had one sideline warning tonight. This discussion taking a long time amongst the officials.
A very long time. Here we are. This game's had a really nice pace to it. We're already at 5:15 in the third quarter. That first half only took a little bit more than an hour. It's moving along.
Well, both teams keeping it on the ground a lot keeps the clock moving.
Just surprising with the amount of drops we've had tonight, too.
Yeah. Yeah, not a ton of scoring, which delays things a little bit, changes the possession. Had a lot of long, sustained drives that didn't result in any points from both sides, but particularly from LA Valley. And then, 5 times in the first half?
5 times they crossed the 50.
Yeah, and they could get no offensive points. Yeah, that only touchdown in the first half defensive.
All of that discussion for no penalty.
So the officials picked the flag up after seemingly a 5-minute delay. But the good news for LA Valley, though, the interception stands for Desert, so Tahir Johnson will get credit for it on the stat sheet. But LA Valley recovers the fumble. I didn't see who got his hands on it. There were so many members in that dog pile. But LA Valley will now restart this drive at their 39. 1st and 10, 5:10 and counting on the clock. Sebastiano out of the gun, gives it away. And Jordan Palmer tackled at the 35, 4-yard loss. Palmer had the touchdown on the last drive, 23-yard burst of speed. Perhaps just beginner's luck. His first carry of the night, and second one doesn't go nearly as well.
Gang tackled there in the backfield. Joshua Gutierrez, the middle linebacker, got to him first. Gutierrez's 4th tackle of the night. He also has a sack. He's really making a name for himself here.
Yeah, Gutierrez has played very well tonight. 2nd and 14. LA Valley from their 35. Sebastiano In the gun, Palmer standing behind him. 3 receivers right side, 1 on the left. Palmer takes the handoff, gets around the left tackle, 40 on the numbers, 45 still on his feet. And finally brought down from behind at the 46, an 11-yard scramble there by Palmer, who looked like he might be hit around the line of scrimmage, perhaps even behind it.
Palmer absolutely taking it to the defense. Levi Ross, the big 6'2 defensive end, number 99. You saw Palmer give him just a little bit of a stiff arm there. Ross didn't like that.
So 3rd and 3, very manageable situation for LA Valley. Only 25% on third downs coming into tonight. They've struggled in that department this evening as well against Desert, but clinging to a 1-point lead, 14-13. Snap will come from there, 46, 3rd and 3. Gives it to Palmer on the ground, and Palmer goes backwards, stuffed at the 42-yard line, loss of 4. And out will come the punting unit.
Yeah, that Canyon defense, that Desert defense has really looked tough tonight.
And on 3rd and short, even needing that first down, I think Jason Vandiver may be a little hesitant to call another passing play after the last one thrown by Sebastiano was intercepted, and he grossly underthrew another deep ball on the previous drive. They were lucky to get a pass interference call on that one instead of an interception, but it appears Matt White and company going to put this game in the hands of their defense. Gunt set to punt this one away from his 30.
It was a nice punt.
Yeah, Franklin Miller calls for a fair catch at the 25. 33-yard punt, no return. And Desert will start deep at their 25. With the way these offenses have looked tonight, it might as well be at their 1 with the way, the way the defense have dominated this game.
Well, Kamon Best, who was the running back, now he's come in at quarterback. The offense has looked sharper with him under center. They've had more fluidity. They've had the opportunity to get more yards. They've been executing a little bit more. They look quicker.
And I think part of that is that he's a threat to run. He has about 60 yards tonight on the ground. He'll be out of the gun, T formation. Give it away to Whitmore on first down. Whitmore about a yard to the 26. Tried to go straight up the gut. Defensive line closed in fast.
Aguado on the tackle there for the Monarchs.
Yeah, so Whitmore didn't play at all in the first half. Now 13 yards on the ground in the third quarter.
And Aguado a little bit shaken up, it looks like, after that as they bring the medical staff on.
Yeah, Aguado returns to the defense from last year's 11-0 squad. Sophomore from William Taft High School in nearby Woodland Hills, named after the former president about 100 years ago.
Well, if he is not able to return, the defense will miss his presence. He's been all over the field tonight.
2nd down and 9, Desert from their 26, 2.5 minutes to play. In the third quarter, LA Valley up by just a point, 14-13. Best in the gun, T formation, using those blockers on each side, extends the play, running to the left. Throws down the sidelines, intended for Miller, but broken up, battered into the ground. Nice defensive play by Craig Jones.
Perfect play on the ball by Jones. Comes up, keeps his right hand behind the receiver, so it's not a penalty. Throws the left hand out to flex it down. Textbook.
3rd down and 9 for a struggling offense. They've moved it better running tonight, although the last touchdown they got was through the air. Showman was the quarterback through one pass tonight. It was a 10-yard touchdown throw. Best, though, will be the quarterback, as he has been for all but one play in the second half. Will be out of the gun, T formation, 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, 3rd and 9, the snap from the 26. Short throw in the flat, left side. Overthrows Williams, falls incomplete. And a 3rd down stand for the LA Valley defense. They should get it back with decent field position on the punt.
Craig Jones with a smart play there. He had the chance to level the running back out of the flat there. Chose not to. And now they have a chance to swing the tide of the game here with a field position battle.
So Castellanos will punt this one away. He waits at his 10-yard line. Longest punt of the season is 46 yards. Jeremiah Lorick, the lone return man, standing at his 40 for LA Valley. Now we'll creep up a little bit towards the 45. 3 blockers for Castellano in between him and his offensive line. Really wanted to make sure they get this one away cleanly. It's high. It's a spiraling kick caught at the 40-yard line. Lorick decides to return it, and that's a mistake. He takes a beating. The second he caught that football, I'm not even sure he got his head lower towards the the field of vision on the field before he took that hit.
No, he lost about 3 yards on that one. It was brought down by number 32, Aaron Watson, linebacker. We haven't seen him yet tonight. I think that's the first time we've called his name. But heck of a hit there on special teams.
So LA Valley trying to survive tonight as much as dominate. It's a game that on paper figured they would be a heavy favorite, but it hasn't worked out that way thus far. LA Valley up by just a point, 14-13, 2:06 to play in the third quarter. Sebastiano, third-string quarterback, out of the gun on first down. Quick throw to the right sideline. It's caught for 9 yards initially, and then breaking a tackle and getting ahead of the 50 is Matthew Mattingly, his first catch of the night, first catch of the season. It's about 15 yards from Mattingly, and an LA Valley first down.
Again, Aaron, that's one of those high-percentage quick throws. Smart thing to do with your third-string quarterback.
Yeah, Mattingly wasn't used much last season, although his first catch of the year was, I believe it was 41 yards for a touchdown. Christian Jorgensen just bombed the ball away to him, so Mattingly has been a playmaker when he's been used, though that's been seldom. First and 10, LA Valley across midfield at the 47. They'll fake a handoff. Then Sebastiano takes off with it. Bootleg to the right side. Head of the 40, close to the 35. Flag comes out at the end of it. As it stands, it would be a 12-yard run for a first down.
And, you don't see a lot of quarterbacks lower the shoulder and have them finish the run through the defender.
Yeah, coaches, even though it might get you a few extra yards, and that coaches often advise against that. They just don't want their quarterbacks to get hurt.
No, not when you're down to the third one.
No, definitely not. And flags on the field. We'll see if this 12 down. So the first down run does not stand. Instead of a 12-yard gain, it will be a 10-yard holding penalty. Depending on where the hold took place will determine the spot of the football. Yeah, let's spot it at the 48 on the desert side of the field. So second down or first down rather. It'll stay first down. No loss of down on the hold. First down and 11. LA Valley leading 14-13 at the 48 in desert territory. Sebastiano in the gun. 4 receivers. Throws deep over the middle and broken up. He's looking downfield for Justin Jacobs, freshman receiver out of Baltimore, Maryland. It's a teammate of Hextall who's been the most common target tonight.
Yeah, the pass just thrown at his feet, however.
Yeah, these guys played together in Baltimore, decided to make the trip out west together. New facilities around campus, great coaching staff, and 20 wins the last 2 seasons for LA Valley. Part of the allure. A lot of out-of-state players electing to come here.
Seems to be working, huh?
Yeah, so far, so good. Second and 11, LA Valley from the desert 48-yard line. Shotgun snap and play blown dead. Flags come out just as the ball is snapped. Some movement at the line of scrimmage. Question is who jumped first. Wasier Sterling on the offensive line jumped early. They'll back it up 5 yards. Second penalty against the LA offense on this drive. First one was a holding penalty. Took away what would have been a first down run. Now a false start. Backs things up 5 yards further. Second down and 16. LA Valley from their 47. Need to get to the 37. On the desert side of the field, targeting Hextall is Sebastiano. Overthrown, incomplete, flag down though, near where the ball was thrown from.
This game is getting a little bit chippy now, Aaron. We're starting to see the players take just a little extra shot at each other after the whistle.
And not uncommon in a game where
what I would like to see when they're going 4 wide right there, we've already established that Sebastiano, well, he might not be the greatest passer in the world, but boy, he can run. So when you spread them out wide, you're only going to get 7 in the box. Maybe a quarterback draw coming our way.
We'll see what Jason Vandiver elects to do with him. Maybe if he does spread it out a little bit more, we'll get a 4-receiver set here. So that's what we were hoping for, Luke. Sebastiano in the gun, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. waiting for the snap. First down following the roughing the passer penalty. Bootleg, Sebastiano with the legs gets around the right tackle to the 36. Only 2 yards on that scramble. So 3 runs, 21 yards for Sebastiano. Third quarterback used by the LA Valley Monarchs tonight. It was Kalawaya Judd starting. Clarence Williams came in, was ineffective. And now Sebastiano getting his turn to signal call for the offense. Don't expect to see Judd again tonight. He got really banged up. Absorbed a number of hits with some protection issues in the first half. Jason Vanderveer, offensive coordinator, told us at halftime that he was down to about 50-60%. Play clock is down to 5. Sebastiano just gets a snap off. 2nd and 8 from the enemy 36. Rolling left. Time to throw. Floats it deep to the end zone and overshoots a wide open Jeremiah Lorick. That was a gift wrap touchdown and just overthrown.
No, it just doesn't have the touch there. It doesn't have that timing with his receivers. Because as you said, Lorick, wide open, and man, is he speedy.
He is. That was a sure touchdown if the throw was on the money.
Absolutely.
Lorick with the hands, got by the secondary. Instead falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 8. LA Valley still at the 36 of Desert. Out of field goal range, perhaps 4-down territory. 2 chances to get 8 yards. Just 5 seconds left in the third quarter. This should be the final play. Snap to Sebastiano. Direct snap to the running back who takes it to the 35-yard line. Only a 1-yard pickup here. It'll be 4th and 7 when we start the fourth quarter.
A lot of effort on that draw play just to get 1 yard.
Shante Smith back in the game took it for just 1 yard, struggling to see that jersey number on him before the play, and it took a minute to identify him, but that was Shante Smith.
Shante Smith with a big game last week. 14 carries for 56 yards. That perfect magic number you want for your running back at the perfect 4.0 yard per carry, and the touchdown.
And that was on a 99-yard drive, beginning at the 1-yard line for LA Valley. They trailed 14-13 at the time, put them on top. They would not relinquish that lead. And for LA Valley, looking for that signature moment offensively tonight, that throw to Lorick should have been it. That should have been the touchdown that
puts you up by 8 in this game,
right,
which you would think is enough to hang on for the win. Now you have to sweat it out. 4th and 8, you have to get creative. And based on what we've seen from Sebastiano here, you would expect it to be with his legs.
Yeah, more likely than not. I almost wonder if they try the pooch punt. 4th and 8 from the 35-yard line. Romeo Gunt already had a nice punt inside the 20 tonight. And you wonder if a special teams guy calling the shots, Matthew White, for LA Valley, maybe if he has more confidence in the special teams than he does in the offense right now. It is Sebastiano heading back onto the field. Start of the fourth quarter, 14-13 LA Valley. And the Monarchs have a 4th and 8 from the Desert 35-yard line. Sebastiano in the backfield. It's Holden running back to his right. And they throw it forward instead to, that is Bryson, Jameer Bryson. And Bryson has the first down to the 19.
And Aaron, that's about the 8th or 9th time they've run that play tonight. Mostly we've had incompletions, whether it's been misses or drops. But on 4th down, the third-string quarterback and Bryson finally get it done.
Oh, they needed it desperately on that play. They elect not to send the punting unit out there, elect to let the offense make a play. And Sebastiano moves the chains. 1st and 10, LA Valley inside the red zone, 19 of Desert, leading by a point. Sebastiano on the move to his left, gets hits as he throws. The back of the end zone looking for Bryson again and falls incomplete. Bryson was back there. Faison Knight, number 9, in there as well. The ball drops about halfway in between the two would-be receivers. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, you have to be nervous there with 3 defensive backs in the area. You never know if someone's going to be able to run back, make a crazy catch, get an interception. That would just absolutely crush this team right now.
Yeah, fourth quarter just underway. It'll be 2nd and 10, LA Valley from the Desert 19-yard line. Sebastiano clapping his hands, waiting for the snap. Play clock is at 5. Gets it. Quick screen to the right. It's caught by Lorick. 15, numbers at the 10. Has his jersey pulled from behind, stays on his feet, gets to the 5. You can see that black Under Armour stretching about 5 yards, almost almost waiting for it to just rip completely off.
And who else but Joshua Gutierrez that was holding on to that undershirt for dear life.
A touchdown saving tackle by Gutierrez. It took him a while to bring Lorick down, not before he got 11 yards and a first down. 3 catches, 53 yards for Lorick tonight.
And credit to Sebastiano there, because he had to execute the fake, turn back to his right, and then what did he see? 2 defensive linemen in his face. So he got the throw off quickly and it got hit immediately after.
So perhaps a big confidence booster for Sebastiano. He's made a couple of big throws to extend this drive for LA Valley. Timeout taken by, it was Desert calling the timeout defensively. They're down to just 1 with 13:46 to play in the contest. And really sensing this is do or die time for the Desert defense. I think more pressure on them than on the LA Valley offense right now, as Desert don't want to go down 8 points. Here technically would be a 1-possession game at that point, but with the way their offense has looked, all out of sorts tonight, asking a lot of them to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion against an LA Valley defense that has produced a couple of interceptions, number of sacks, and a strip sack fumble for a touchdown tonight.
Absolutely. The numbers are there supporting the LA Valley defense as putting on another great showing tonight. And at the same time, doesn't it feel like this is 4-down territory?
I think it does. I mean, maybe they kick a field goal here. Obviously, if they could punch it in on first down, they'll do it. But could be 4-down territory for LA Valley, saying, hey, touchdown or nothing. First and goal from the 5. 13:46 to play in the contest. LA Valley up 14-13. Looking to extend the lead. Sebastiano in the gun. He's got Gandy behind him in the backfield. And a flag comes out. Yeah, 12 men on the field for LA Valley. Well, I've seen a couple of penalties on first and goal situations tonight for the Monarchs. It cost them, kept them out of the end zone in the first half. And you hope they don't suffer a similar fate here, but first and goal at the 5, moves to first and goal at the 10. For a struggling offense, that's the last thing you want to see.
Absolutely. I was just about to say no negative plays, which I thought to mean sacks. But you can't move backwards. Now you have to punch it in.
So Gandy in the backfield takes the handoff, hit initially behind the line of scrimmage. Now I think he gets back to it, loses, maybe half a yard. On the play, 1 official at the 11, 1 at the 10. Looks like going to spot it, right on the 11. So a loss of a yard for Gandy.
Yeah, he comes out. Jordan Palmer checks in. He was the man that scored the offensive touchdown on the first possession in the third quarter for LA Valley.
Yeah, 23-yard touchdown run gave the Monarchs a 14-13 lead. So Sebastiano ran over to the sidelines, talked to Matt White, his head coach, and the offensive coordinator Jason Vandiver is sitting on top of us tonight in the coach's box.
We have Hextall on an island to the left side. Look for the ball to go his way.
Sebastiano out of the gun, gives it away to Palmer on second and goal from the 11. Palmer on his feet, carrying defenders on his back, plows forward to the 5. Gets 6 of the 11 yards he needs, and it'll be third and goal from the 5 where the first and goal originally started from.
Bad prediction on my part. Great run by Jordan Palmer.
So Jordan Palmer, I've got him at 32 yards tonight overall. None more important than that 23-yard touchdown run which gave LA Valley the lead. 12 and a half minutes to play, 14-13 LA Valley. Third and goal from the 5 for the Monarchs looking to extend their lead. It's Palmer in the backfield. Sebastiano out of the gun, throws left side, caught for a touchdown. Justin Jacobs at the back of the end zone. Justin Jacobs from Maryland gets his first touchdown of the season, and the Monarchs go up 20-13.
Great design there from Coach Vanderveer. What we saw on that trip set on the left side, we had the 2 outside receivers run slants, bringing their defenders inside, and then we had the slot receiver, Justin Jacobs, run that out, standing all by himself in the end zone.
It took a while for this offense to get going, but finally finding its rhythm now under third-string quarterback Sebastiano. And Julius Sebastiano, a calming presence for the offense, made a number of big throws on this drive, including that one to the end zone to Jacobs. Going to stoppage a play on the field before we get an extra point opportunity. Oh, boy, LA Valley going to be charged with a timeout.
Violation. Wow.
That's especially frustrating. I mean, they still have 2 of them left, but a timeout on an extra point, especially for a special teams guy running the show, Matthew White. He's got to be kind of banging his head.
And you know,
on
Aaron,
the clipboard.
One of the things that we were criticizing the Monarchs for early and often in this game was the offensive line. Well, here in the second half, that line play has been much stronger. I think part of that is due to number 54. You'll see Nathaniel Zemene. He's 6'5", he's 290. He's a freshman, but he's checked in. He's been playing both tackle spots and holding them down.
Yeah, the offensive line is going to be a work in progress. 5 sophomores on the offensive line a year ago. Obviously, they've all moved on. And for LA Valley, trying to figure out a number of positions, including that line, still trying to figure out who the lead back is going to be. They've used 3 quarterbacks tonight, uncertain what the status of Judd going forward is going to be. Lost pretty much his whole freshman season due to injury. Came back, was less than 100% to start the year, but felt that they just wanted to get the rust out of the way as quickly as possible. Obviously, they thought it was, a real serious threat of injury. They wouldn't have started him, but Judd banged up tonight. Has not played in the second half. Craig Jones' extra point is up, and it is good. Let's add 1 more to the board. The lead now 8 for LA Valley, 21-13 with 12:15 on the clock. I'm glad to have you with us on SportsNetUSA.net tonight. Aaron Rosenberg alongside Luke Hobbs. And we'll have every home game this season for LA Valley. Be a 5-game regular season schedule for the Monarchs. Been fortunate enough to broadcast 2 bowl games played here at Monarch Stadium as well. Hopefully we get a third one for you come November. But for LA Valley, they were the only team in the American Pacific Conference to win their opener last week. Although, see how those other teams do heading into conference play. We'll have Pierce at home this year, playing for the Liberty Bell, which LA Valley has won the last 2 years.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned they're the only team to win their opener, because on the other side of the ball in the Mountain League, where College of the Desert plays in, things shook out the same way. San Diego Mesa, well, they went 1-0. They're 1-0. They won their first game. Every other team dropped the opener. So the standings are a little bit skewed right now.
12:15 to play, 21-13. LA Valley kicking it away, fielded at the 25, and a nice run out to the 40 for the returner Levi Holden, primarily a wide receiver, standing at just 5'7" from Roseburg, Oregon. And about a 17-yard return to the 40, so good field position for Desert. They haven't been able to do much with it throughout the night. 2 offensive touchdowns, 1 to start the first quarter, 1 to start the third. But other than that, they have basically gone nowhere offensively. Fullback Miles with the touchdown on a 3rd and goal in the first quarter, and starting the third quarter, the third-string quarterback Showman finding wide receiver Delgado in the back of the end zone, 13-7 after a missed extra point. LA Valley took the lead 14-13. They've extended it to 21-13 since then. Best out of the gun on first down, floats it deep down the right sideline, going for it all, and battered away. Good coverage all the way on that play in the LA Valley secondary. It was Craig Jones back there defending.
Yeah, well said, Aaron. A lot of people on the Roadrunner sideline wanted a flag there, but it was just a well-played timing with the ball by Jones.
Yeah, they've taken a lot of deep shots down the field, but give credit to the secondary for LA Valley. They've stood tall, and aside from the 1 touchdown throw in the third quarter, really haven't given up the big play in the passing game. Now 2nd down and 10. Desert at their 40. Be the second play of the drive. Best started the game at running back, now playing quarterback. Will work out of a T formation, or that's Showman rather, back in the game. Showman, quick throw to the left side, hits Williams, and Williams running along the sideline ahead of the 50 into LA Valley territory, where he goes out of bounds at the 45, 15-yard throw from Showman to Williams, and a first down for Desert.
And Showman wants to hurry up. He doesn't want to huddle up. He wants to get this offense moving. And it's funny, when you see him out there, I think he looks the most like a traditional quarterback.
He did. Well, he threw the touchdown pass to Delgado to start off the third quarter, give Desert the lead. It was a perfect spiral, too. He's been the most accurate of the 3 quarterbacks we've seen tonight.
Possibly of the 6.
Yeah, Showman out of the gun again. He'll give it away to Best. Best nearly tackled the 47, stays on his feet. Should have gone down initially as he decides to try to make something out of nothing, runs backwards to the 40. On their side of the field, loses 5 on the play. It'll be second down and
a mile.
Yeah.
Jeremy Reichner, big number 99, who you saw almost have Best wrapped up. Well, he owes the rest of his defense for coming up and forcing him back even further.
Yeah, Best is the leading rusher tonight for Desert at 53 yards. This is a long one, 2nd and 25. Desert at their 40-yard line, need to get all the way to the 35 on the LA Valley side of the field. Just under 11 minutes to go. Showman out of the gun, under pressure, has to get rid of it short and overshoots Franklin Miller.
Timing just wasn't quite there. Showman, he did have a rusher coming at him. It looked like he felt that a little bit, but Miller, well, looked a little bit tight.
And Miller standing at just 5'8" in no position to try to catch any overthrown balls.
No.
That one went over his head, and it's a shame because he was wide open and he had space in front of him.
Absolutely.
Do some damage with the legs. 3rd down and 25 for the struggling Desert offense, who now trails by 8.
It's plays like that that really can change the game, because going from 3rd and 25 to what could have been 3rd and 10, that's a game changer.
3rd and 25, Showman out of the gun, goes for it all down the right sideline and broken up. Went down for the sideline. He was looking for Jerice Thomas. And Craig Jones and Romeo Gunt back there in coverage, double teaming Thomas.
The key there, Jones did an excellent job of running the receiver down on the sideline, keeping him on the boundary. Then when he goes up for the ball, it's fair game to hit him. If you get him out of bounds, incompletion.
So 4th and 25, even trailing by 8 in the 4th quarter, no choice but to punt this one away. For Desert, Castellanos with 3 blockers in front of him, boots it away. Hits at the 30 of LA Valley. Will take a ricochet inside the 25 where it is down there. Flag comes out at the end of the play. It's nowhere near the football, and that's a lack of discipline on whoever it's called on. Looks like it may be a sideline infraction against LA Valley. And you just can't do that. No excuses.
That's just not using your head. And in a tight game like this, where if you're LA Valley, you can't afford to give up more. Neither team can afford to give up yardage for that matter. But Valley, go down, get another touchdown, this game's over. All but over.
Right, especially a penalty like that where even if you don't get caught, it does nothing to help your cause on the field.
So that's a warning to Valley, because if you remember, Desert, they had it earlier in the game. So now if either side gets it again, that's going to be, I believe it's 10 yards.
So the ball will stay at the 25 where it was downed. 35-yard punt, no return for Castellanos and Desert. 10:35 on the clock, 21-13 LA Valley, 14 unanswered points. Sebastiano, third-string quarterback, standing in the shotgun. Give it away to Palmer on 1st down. Palmer looking for an opening on the left side, which never quite developed. He got only 1 to the 26, so 1 yard for Palmer. His highlight of his night was the 23-yard touchdown run early in the 3rd quarter. That put LA Valley up 14-13. On the last drive to start the 4th, Sebastiano found Jacobs in the end zone, a 5-yard pass on 3rd and goal. Extended the lead to 21-13. That's where we stand now, coming up on the 10-minute mark in the contest. 2nd and 9, LA Valley from their 26. Sebastiano, the shotgun snap, 4-receiver set. Rolling right under pressure, throws it into the ground, looking for Lorick. And they're going to rule it a catch. Lorick able to go to the ground and push the ball upwards towards his chest before it hit the turf.
Sebastiano needs to get that ball a little bit higher, but Lorick showing off those amazing hands and the body control to get the slide, get the hands underneath, and bring it up.
So it was a poor throw, but Jeremiah Lorick bails out his quarterback, Sebastiano. 4 catches, 64 yards for Lorick tonight. 1st and 10, LA Valley at their 38. Sebastiano with 10 on the play clock waiting for the snap. That's it. Fakes the handoff to Palmer. Sebastiano then able to recover the fumble. And fortunately for him, no defenders for the Roadrunners in the area. So Sebastiano actually able to take off with it and get close to the line of scrimmage. There'll be no gain on the play on what, boy, could have been a disaster if the spacing had been a little different defensively for College of the Desert.
Funny enough, what I think happened there was he was trying to hand it off to Palmer. The exchange wasn't clean. Ball pops out, but the defense read that Palmer was supposed to be getting the ball. They shifted that way, leaving Sebastiano all by himself.
So they did what they were supposed to do, and instead it burned him.
They got 3 yards out of it.
So in the gun is Sebastiano, 2nd down and 7. LA Valley at their 41, keeping on the ground with Palmer again. And a little bit more space this time. Palmer out to the 45. He'll be credited for 4. He'll be 3rd and a manageable 3 coming up. So 3rd and 3, Sebastiano showed that he had some nice throws on the last drive, including the touchdown throw, but they've mostly kept it on the ground, up 8 points, maybe want to chew a little clock. What do you think? You run it or pass it here?
I think if you're Jason Vanderveer, you have to feel confident putting the ball in his hands. He's shown up and made plays, actually, when he's needed to. Gotten better as the game has progressed. I think you can throw it here.
3rd and 3, LA Valley from their 45. They will go through the air. And incomplete pass was in the hands of, that was Bryson, Jameer Bryson, the intended target on the slant. They've gone with the slant probably at least 10 times tonight, and more often than not, they've been incomplete, either misthrown balls or in and out of the hands of the receivers. I think Bryson could have had that one.
I absolutely agree. It was a little bit in front of him, but you know the old adage in football is if you get your hands on it, you should catch it. And I think in this case, that's true.
So the incompletion will stop the clock with 8:08 to play, 21-13 LA Valley. They will snap it from their 45. It's a fake punt. It goes to Romeo Gunt. Gunt running along the sidelines has the first down ahead of the 50. So they failed once on a fake punt earlier in the game, failed on a fake field goal as well. 3rd time is the charm. Romeo Gunt has the first down, and LA Valley keeps the ball. And boy, that could be a backbreaker for Desert, not only in terms of the clock and the score, but just emotionally.
And for those of you that are pro football fans out there, Gunt not only looking like Victor Cruz on the field, former receiver for the Giants, but then he's got the little salsa dance on the sideline after he converts that big play. And funny enough, that's where you send him out there as your punter anyway, since your kicker is hurt for the season. Well, now it can pay off because you can run fakes with him.
13 yards on the fake punt for an LA Valley first down, 1st and 10 from the enemy 46, trying to build on an 8-point lead, 21-13. Shante Smith in the backfield across the 45. He'll be taken down at the 42 on the right hash mark.
You know, Shante Smith, not a particularly big guy at 5'8", 170 pounds, but he is built stout and low to the ground, which typically makes those kind of players hard to tackle.
They have an injury timeout on the field, on the ground. It's Eneliko Tuli in the secondary, freshman out of 29 Palms High School for College of the Desert. So obviously we hope he's okay, and this is kind of the stage of the game when your defense has been on the field for so long that sometimes coaches will even say to guys, hey, just go down for a minute, get us a breather, fake an injury.
I was thinking the same thing. They only have one timeout left with 7:11 to go in the game, down by 8. The other team's driving on you. Now they're in your territory for what I believe is the 7th time this game.
And only two touchdowns to show for it offensively, both coming in the second half. 5 times in the first half they got into Desert territory and did not score. But LA Valley starting to find a little bit of a rhythm offensively. They've had to use 3 different quarterbacks tonight, and just a revolving door of offensive players.
It depends on how you look at it. It could be crazy to say they only have 21 points because they've been in past the 50 7 times. They've been inside the red zone, I believe, 4 times.
Now remember, the first of those touchdowns, though, was a defensive one.
Absolutely.
Linebacker Howard got the strip sack in the end zone, recovered that fumble, tied the game up at 7, and LA Valley fell down 13-7 early in the third quarter. 14 unanswered points since then, though. And with 7:11 to play in the contest, leading 21-13, going for consecutive win number 17. It's the longest winning streak in California. 2nd and 6, LA Valley at the 42 of Desert following a Shante Smith 4-yard run to start the series of downs. They keep it on the ground with Smith again. Smith around the left tackle. On the left hash, 35, has the first down and more to the 32. 10-yard run for Shante Smith, his longest of the night. And LA Valley just wearing down this Desert defense, which has to be absolutely gassed at this point with how much time they have spent on the field.
Now we're seeing the LA Valley offensive line actually win that battle, win those trap blocks on the outside run to the left for Shante Smith.
It's a talented group of running backs that they have a lot of guys that can give each other rest, whether it's Smith, whether it's Schick, Palmer, whoever it is. If they can get blocking, they're gonna be able to do some damage with the legs. 1st and 10, LA Valley at the Desert 32, 6.5 minutes to play. LA Valley up by 8. Shotgun snap to Sebastiano, gives it away to Smith. Smith behind the line of scrimmage, just dancing on his feet, trying to find some kind of opening, any opening, as the line broke down quickly. And he'll have to settle for a 4-yard loss. Could have been worse, though, as he went as far back as the 40.
Absolutely. Smith really made the most out of that he could have.
Yeah, broken play from the start. Smith with just 16 yards on the night at 56 yards, and the game-winning touchdown a week ago on the road against Cerritos, game in which LA Valley trailed in the 4th quarter. The Valley trailed late in the 3rd quarter tonight as well. Have had a play from behind in both of their games to start this season. Not been the overall dominating team that they were the last 2 seasons. 2nd and 13, LA Valley from the 36 of Desert. Sebastiano out of the gun, looking downfield, nothing there. Takes off with it, picks up 2 with the legs, but a flag is down away from the ball at the 20.
That's thrown in the territory where you would think it's going to be defensive holding against someone in the secondary.
So, well, if it's now if this hold goes against LA Valley, could back them up a considerable distance. It'd be a 10-yard penalty. Defensive holding, just a 5-yard penalty.
That is a first down, though.
The officials still talking things over how they're going to enforce this. There's 5:33 on the clock. It's the name of the game at this point. Obviously, LA Valley would like the score, but
we're getting pretty close to that point in the game where you can say the old stereotype that the clock has become your enemy. We're just about there for
and
the
that
Roadrunners.
Defensive holding, a penalty that Desert cannot afford. Daniel Rodriguez found guilty of a hold, linebacker for Desert. Well, that's an automatic first down for LA Valley. Only 1 timeout left for Desert, and 5:33 on the clock. Valley already up by 8 points and in striking distance of another score. The clock is their friend. I'd be surprised if they do anything other than just keep this thing on the ground.
Especially with 2nd and 2. Expect a couple of runs here.
Yeah, can't quite see the jersey number. It looks like Palmer is in the backfield, though. Looks like his body back there behind Sebastiano, the 3rd-string quarterback who has led a touchdown drive here in the 3rd quarter. Fakes a handoff to a running back who is not there. And Desert having none of it. I wonder if Palmer was supposed to rush forward on that play to cause a little deception there, but
it almost looked like Palmer just spaced and did not realize that the ball had been snapped.
Yeah, because Sebastiano, he took the shotgun snap. He's holding the football out there in front of his body. If somebody got there quicker, they could have just swatted that ball into the ground. There was nobody there in terms of protection. Fortunately for LA Valley, it just goes down as an ugly play. But
yeah, it didn't look like a fake because typically if you're going to fake it in that situation, you need to block one of those ends so the quarterback has a route to run. But they both came on the play.
3rd and 5, LA Valley at the enemy 27, slant over the middle. Incomplete, no flags on the field. That was Hextall that it was intended for out of Maryland.
And I know that's an incomplete pass that stops the clock. Now it's 4th down, all that. I love that play call. Hextall has been arguably their best offensive weapon tonight. They need to try to get him the ball as much as possible. If someone in the secondary is going to come and make a play on it, then so be it. But get the ball to your best players.
Right, and they have an 8-point lead. They can trust the defense. And, yeah, I understand the call, wanting to build a little confidence for a quarterback who may be relied on more as the season goes on. We don't know the extent of Kalawaya Judd's injury. I know suffered in the first half. Sebastiano out of the gun, 4th and 5, offense on the field, flags come out.
That's going to be a false start.
Yeah, we've seen a few of these in inopportune times for LA Valley tonight.
Yeah, that's number 79, Jaspreet Singh. He's the left guard, just step too early.
So for LA Valley, now 4th and 10. I mean, I still got to think the offense will stay in the field. Yep, Sebastiano will head back out, join the team in the huddle. Fresh 25 on the play clock, so no rush to snap this thing. If you don't like what you see, plenty of time to correct it. Sebastiano in the gun. Palmer, the back over his right shoulder. 2 receivers and a tight end on the right. 1 receiver on the left. That's Lorick. Play clock is at 7. The shotgun snap. Throwing over the middle. Intended for Lorick. Overthrown. Lorick leapt in the air. Couldn't get his fingers on it. Falls incomplete. And Desert will get another chance, maybe their last chance, to try to come back trailing 21-13. You know, the throw was there. It was short of the first down marker anyway. So I know the throw was off the mark. We've talked about that the quarterbacks need to be more accurate tonight, but it was short of the first down. I don't think you would have been able to get the distance even had the pass been completed.
True. I thought the same exact thing. He was about 5-6 yards down the field on that crossing route, so they were hoping that he was going to be able to get the ball and then break away, which, in fairness, Lorick has done that tonight. He's the fastest player on their team. However, you'd like to see them get the yardage you need on those routes, run something a little deeper.
Yeah. Final countdown for College of the Desert beginning at their 32. They trail by 8, 21-13, 4 minutes to go. It is Showman in at quarterback, misfires on first down, looking towards the right sideline.
Now, would you rather have Showman, who has looked impressive, or Camone Best, who at least he was able to move the offense up and down the field?
Well, Best is more of a dual threat in that he can run. Only 1 timeout, though. I think I'd rather have Showman. You're going to have to throw the ball. He's been the most accurate.
With 4 minutes left, you have enough time. 4 minutes and 1 timeout, you have enough time, but you have to execute on these plays. Slinging it down the left sideline where the throw's out of bounds and your receiver doesn't even get a chance.
Yeah, Idris Ramke was not even within 10 yards of that football. The intended target's a 3rd down and 10. Desert with just 1 timeout. Well, I don't know if they're quite in 4-down territory yet. But 3rd and 10 from their 32. Showman out of the gun. Rolling right all day to throw. Floats it deep over the middle.
Oh, he
and
has a
broken
cannon.
up. He was hammered on that play. Carry-on Ringo, freshman wide receiver out of Indiana, took a shot. Welcome to California.
We've got that flag down. Unclear what it is quite in that area. My guess is going to be offensive holding.
Well, let's hope is what the Monarchs fans are thinking.
Looks like
penalty would obviously be declined, anything on the offense.
Yeah, that it's going against. Oh. Well, that's another one you don't see too often.
So they're going to go for it, 4th down and 10.
And just to clarify for you at home, if you didn't hear that, that was an illegal man downfield on number 60, who I believe is the right guard. Just means that he got downfield on that pass. Not allowed to do that.
That's a pass would not even have counted. Had it been complete. 4th and 10. And College of the Desert will take a timeout with the clock not running.
Their last timeout.
It's their final one. So, look, they take that timeout. I've got to think they're going for it. Really, no choice. You don't burn the timeout to punt the football.
No, you're going for it here.
So do or die, and I think I'm okay with that. If I'm College of the Desert, it's an 8-point game. You need the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Even if you don't get it here, you leave LA Valley in good field position, but their offense has been so inconsistent tonight that I think you have a reasonable chance of getting the ball back without giving up points. So I think it's worth the risk going for it, even as deep as they are in their own territory.
I understand not wanting to give the ball away, but I think that the offense has been inconsistent for LA Valley, where I would have punted the ball, actually, played the field position game, because they do have an exceptional kicking game. We already saw that last week when he had 9 punts for 307 yards. So why not try to pin them as deep as possible and then hopefully get the ball back somewhere around the 40 with, a couple minutes left and no timeouts?
No, they're going to go with the opposite strategy. Offense on the field, 4th and 10. Snap will be from Desert's 32-yard line, 3:41 to play, 21-13 LA Valley. Showman, the quarterback, out of the gun. 4 receivers downfield. Eludes a sack. Throws complete to Idris. And Idris across midfield has the first down past the 50, down at the 47. 21 yards, Idris Ramke.
Well, when they watch the film tomorrow, number 48, Kenneth Harrell, he's going to be feeling sick. He had almost a free shot at the quarterback. The running back did try to chip him. He jumped right over him, and then he ran right past him.
3:20 and counting. Desert on the move, 1st and 10 at the LA Valley 47. They throw it into the ground, but scooped up and ruled a catch by Jason Orr, his first catch of the night, which would keep the clock moving, maybe even lose a yard. Now it looks like they're going to change the call incomplete. Well, that's a break. That's a break for Desert because it stops the clock, and I mean, more importantly than the yard, it stops the clock.
Yeah, you can't be losing yards and have the clock keep running in this instance. Just take the incompletions.
Yeah, Valley up by 8, looking for one final defensive stand. 2nd and 10 for Desert from the LA Valley 47, thrown over the middle, and intercepted. Intercepted. Craig Jones.
We've been calling Craig Jones' name a bunch tonight. And the funny thing is, I was just about to compliment Showman. I love how he's throwing vertically down the seams, but when you're inaccurate and the corners are going to make a great play, that's going to win the game for Valley.
3rd interception defensively tonight for LA Valley. Taylor Manuel had one early. Craig Jones with the last one. Alan Ortega with the other interception tonight. A strip sack for a fumble in the end zone, recovered for a touchdown. Davaris Howard. The defensive plays all night long for LA Valley. They lead 21-13, and with Desert out of timeouts, time for the Monarchs just to kill a little bit of clock. We get a flag out before the offense even makes their way to the field, where there are 12 of them coming out, trying to count quickly.
I feel like that's going to...
Yep, I counted 12.
You count 12? I was thinking maybe a sideline warning. Okay.
So 12 men on the field for LA Valley.
Well, not the start you wanted, but still, you got to kill 3 minutes. The other team has no timeouts. Worst case scenario, you run the ball 3 times.
You could take 2 minutes off the clock just doing that, which would bring us to about the 1 minute mark when the punt would come. So, I mean, I can't imagine Jason Vandiver is going to call anything with substantial risk.
No.
Palmer is in the backfield, and Sebastiano is in the gun, although I figure they'll just keep this thing on the ground, and then it's Bryson. He's been used as a receiver mostly, gets an inside handoff, runs it to the left side. They'll keep it on the ground. Don't gain much on first down, but name of the game, just kill the clock, 2:50 and counting. Ball spotted at the 26. Actually lost a yard and a half on the play.
Well, now what we have to consider also, assuming that they don't get this first down unless we get a big chunk play here on second, they're going to be punting the ball, most likely giving it back to Desert. Desert will have one shot with about a minute to go. How far can they punt this ball?
A lot of pressure will be on Romeo Gunt to make sure he gets the punt away cleanly. Hand off to Palmer. Palmer lost the football. It's on the ground. Desert says they have it. And they do. Inside the 20-yard line.
Just not a clean exchange between Sebastiano and Palmer there. From the angle up here, we can't quite tell who had the bad handoff, but that's what happened, and Desert recovers. Now they're right back in it, folks. However, they're down by 8, so they're going to have to get the touchdown and the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, Palmer lost the football. Aaron Lomboy, the linebacker, recovered it. Sophomore out of Cathedral City High School out near Palm Springs. 2:12 to play. Lomboy's fumble recovery gives Desert one final shot offensively. 1st and 10 at the LA Valley 19, trailing by 8, 21-13. Showman out of the gun, will go for it all on first down, throws to the end zone, caught wide open for the touchdown. Carry-on Ringo, freshman out of Indiana. And a 2-point conversion away from tying this game.
Ringo, well, he was just wide open. He ran right past the defense. There was no one by him.
Second touchdown throw of the night for Showman, the third-string quarterback who was looked the best out of any of the quarterbacks on the field tonight.
I would absolutely agree. Now let's give head coach Jack Steptoe for Desert. He deserves some credit for going with this kid, leaving him in the game. Because we never found out for sure what exactly happened to the starter, Tristan Swenson. We don't know if he's shaken up or what the deal is, why he's not in.
So going for 2 to tie the game. The Showman out of the gun, pitches it left side Best. Best eludes one tackle, diagonal line towards the pylon, and he is in with 2:05 to play. We are tied at 21 in just total shock and dismay from the LA Valley fans below us.
Aaron, we have a ball game on our hands. This one felt over 60 seconds ago, and now they're right back in it. But let's give some credit to LA Valley. There's been good clock management tonight. They have 2 timeouts left with 2:05 to go. All you need is a field goal.
And now you're thinking perhaps let's see how much we can get on this return. Jeremiah Lorick will, in all likelihood, be the guy returning this kickoff.
It will be Lorick. I would also want to throw Gunt back there personally. I think those have been their 2 most explosive players. Try to get something going. Maybe this is when you see Coach Matt White, who is the special teams ace, the guru, do some sort of reverse, break something out of the playbook. This would be a good time for that.
So Matt White, in just his second game as a head coach for the LA Valley Monarchs, won a nail-biter last week, pulled ahead late in the fourth quarter. Looked like he was on his way to victory number 2. As the lead snatched away. Jordan Palmer fumble inside the 20-yard line, recovered by Lomboy, the linebacker for Desert, and then Showman on the first play. Airs it out for Ringo, wide open, back left corner of the end zone. 2-point conversion, run in by Best on a pitch, and we're tied at 21 with 2:05 to play. So Lorick is on the far side of the field. It's Bryson on the near side to return it for LA Valley. Castellanos will kick it away from the 35 for Desert. You're just joining us, tied at 21. LA Valley about to receive. Again, Lorick on the far side, Bryson on the near side, each of them waiting near the goal line. Kick is high, it is deep, it'll be caught on the run by Bryson at the 15, 20 on the right numbers, 30, 35, 40, Bryson on his feet, and then brought down from behind at the 43. Tackle made by Aaron Watson, a linebacker doubling up in special teams unit, duty out of Colorado.
We've called his name twice tonight, both on big special teams tackles. That's how you're going to stay on the field, work your way up this team, starting on special teams. But great return there from Bryson to get out to the 44-yard line. That makes this manageable.
Yeah, we said beforehand that a big return would go a long way towards taking a little pressure off of this offense that just coughed up the fumble on the last possession, allowed Desert to tie this game.
Absolutely. Now, if we're going to throw the ball, which you would expect, look for high percentage passes. You don't need to go all the way down the field at once.
1st and 10, Sebastiano in the gun. Got to get rid of the football. Ball is out at the 30. It's on the ground. Desert has it. Desert has it inside the 15. And picking it up was number 7 on your screen, Austin Holt, the linebacker out of Florida.
Oh, my Lord, Aaron. We were both trying to scream it at the same time and stop ourselves that you have to get rid of the ball. You can't keep it forever.
So Austin Holt with a huge fumble recovery. And Desert want to... holding against LA Valley, that's obviously declined. You see the flag out there, and the Monarchs thinking hopefully maybe it's against Desert, but no such luck. And now Desert inside field goal range already.
Still with those 2 timeouts. Realistically, if you are Desert here, you want to just run the ball, kill as much clock, eat those timeouts off the board for the Monarchs, kick that field goal, and win.
And for the Monarchs, name of the game now, just keep them out of the end zone, force them to make that field goal, as Castellanos missed a 45-yarder in the first half. This would be a much easier shot from where they are on the field now. If they don't go anywhere, it would be a 28-yard kick. Showman out of the gun, gives it away to Best on first down, and Best quickly wrapped up near the line of, a little bit behind the line of scrimmage at the 14. Loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 13.
And they're taking their timeouts on the back end. Interesting strategy here. It's an interesting technique. What I would almost consider doing, and they're not going to do it here, is what if you let them score and had the time for yourself?
Well, I wouldn't do that because there's no guarantee that Desert would make the field goal if you force them to kick it. They've already missed one tonight. Showman out of the gun, 2nd and 12 from the 14, going for the end zone. And in and out of the hands of the intended target. No flags on the field. Looked like it was Tyus Evans, the receiver. So he comes back into our view. Yep, number 27. That was Tyus Evans. Had a 75-yard touchdown last week, so has some good speed. But
interesting call there, going for a play that requires such precision, and the clock stops now.
It does stop, so a break there for LA Valley if they do need to come from behind. They'll have a little bit more time to work with. LA Valley still with 2 timeouts in their pocket, 1:01 to play. 3rd down and 12. Desert from the 13 of LA Valley, tied at 21. Showman in the gun, 2 receivers each side of the field. It's the shotgun snap, under pressure. Showman has to get rid of it. Was he outside of the pocket? I don't think he was. I think that should be grounding.
Well, the ball did make it past the line of scrimmage. However, I just think that play call is so interesting. The fact that on 2 consecutive plays, they could have forced the Monarchs to use these timeouts. Now, you have to kick this field goal, you have to make it, and you're giving LA Valley a chance by leaving them with about 50 seconds and 2 timeouts on the board. You could argue that's not the best clock management.
That'll be a 31-yard field goal for Castellanos, who missed a 45-yarder earlier. This one has the distance, and it is no good, wide to the left.
There we go.
Oh, boy, the life of a kicker is not one that I envy. And if Desert does not ultimately win this game, that's going to be a long ride back to Palm Springs for Castellano.
Oh, my gosh. Well, now if you're LA Valley College and you can survive that initial scare, you have to be thinking to yourself, okay, we need to win this game. We are supposed to win this game. We have the 2 timeouts. We have 50 seconds. And how ironic would it be if they go down and they kick a game-winning field goal?
Well,
minus a kicker.
Got to move the football, but got to hold on to the football first. Then worry about a first down. Then maybe think about getting into field goal range. Last 2 offensive plays for LA Valley have been fumbles. The first one resulted in a touchdown and a 2-point conversion for Desert. Second one, a missed field goal. And a new sign of life for the Monarchs will begin at their 20. 50 seconds on the clock. 2 timeouts in their pocket. Tied at 21. And with the way the last 2 plays have gone, do they just play for overtime at this point, or do you take a risk with your offense? I don't know. See how much of a gamble Matthew White is willing to take.
I think with the timeouts and the fact there's 4 receivers in the field, you go for it.
4 receivers. Sebastiano in the gun. They'll throw it short, and is caught by Faison Knight. Although he's only back at the line of scrimmage. Caught it behind the line, actually, 2 yards after the catch. Gets to the 21. It'll be 2nd and 9. Timeout taken, and obviously it's got to be LA Valley, the only ones with a timeout, although there is a flag on the field.
Boy, they took for it.
Way ahead of where the football ended up at the 34. 39 seconds on the clock for the moment.
That could be offensive holding, actually, down the field. On those screen passes, oftentimes what you see is, oh boy, personal foul on the offense after the play.
Yeah, Jaspreet Singh, offensive lineman.
He's had a rough night.
As a sophomore, he's got to know better.
He's had a rough night. We've called his name a few times. None of them have been good, unfortunately.
And with a 15-yard personal foul penalty, I think at this point you just take a knee. 2nd and 25. Well, it's actually half the distance to the goal. It'll be a 2nd and 20.
I think you would be right. I think you have to, at this point, just play for overtime. Don't have any more turnovers.
We're going to run a shotgun play, although keep it on the ground. And just that's the fullback, Gary Gandy. So just gonna keep it conservatively. Desert can't stop the clock. Monarchs have 2 timeouts. Does not appear they will use either of them, and they'll just live to fight in overtime.
Exactly. Wow, if you're the Monarchs, that has to be just a almost overwhelming feeling. Now you have to come back after you had this game all but won.
All they had to do was run out the clock. Their second, the 2 drives previous to this one, they had a 21-13 lead. They had just over 3 minutes on the clock. They could have taken it down to about a minute.
They were about a first down away from winning.
Yeah, all you do is just run it up the gut 3 times. Don't take any risks, and then force an offense that had struggled all night long, to go the distance down the field. Instead, the fumble gave new life to the Desert offense, a 19-yard touchdown throw from Showman, the third-string quarterback, to Ringo, the wide receiver, making his first catch of the night. 2-point conversion run by Best, tied it at 21. And that's where we stand now, thanks to a missed field goal following another LA Valley punt. It's Castellanos, who had missed a 45-yarder earlier in the contest, missed a 28-yard kick.
Well, folks, here we go. We are headed into overtime.
Now, Aaron Rosenberg, Luke Hobbs with you for free football. We'll move into quarter number 5, better known as overtime. So it'll be one 15-minute period. Basically same rules apply. You get 2 timeouts.
Well, now it'll be interesting to see. We have to have the coin toss. We have to figure out who's going to get the ball first. And, what is your strategy here? Because both teams, the momentum, it was so clearly in the Monarchs' favor. Then it went to the Roadrunners with that first fumble. And then the Monarchs fumbled again. And then you thought, wow, this is the game. And then the defense stepped up. But largely it was poor play calling and execution on the part of College of the Desert. And then missing the field goal. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, they're going to look at the kicking game and just take a long, hard look at that. Castellanos, especially, he's going to be upset with himself on the bus ride home tonight, especially if they can't come back and win. Following the missed field goal, which would have put the game away.
Oh, that would have been the end.
Yeah, so we'll get a coin toss at midfield. See who gets the ball first. Tied at 21, heading into the overtime period.
And just to reiterate once again, what's on the line here for LA Valley College? They have the longest winning streak in the state, as you said many times tonight, at 16 games. They're also ranked 13th in the state. Both of those things would be gone.
They would. So we'll get the toss. Looks like Desert has won the toss. Coach Steptoe out there to make sure the guys call things correctly. So LA Valley will then choose their side of the field, which without a whole lot of wind tonight, I'm not sure that makes much difference. But what that is, it's going to be their choosing.
Now, weather hasn't been a factor. It's just a beautiful day here at LA Valley College. Evening now.
So LA Valley gets the football first as Desert elects to defer. Started to break out into the NFL overtime rules. It doesn't work that way in college, so apologies for any confusion. Both teams will get an opportunity to possess the ball, and LA Valley will have it first. So even if LA Valley gets a touchdown here, the game is not over. Just want to make that clear to everybody at home. And if they're still tied after one possession each, then we go on to another overtime. And then we just keep going. And I believe starting in the third overtime, I believe you have to go for 2-point conversions after touchdowns.
There's quite a bit of controversy over this, whether this should be changed or not. Many people feel like it just takes one of the most important aspects, special teams, out of the game.
Well, there's a case to be made for that. And especially special teams has played a role tonight. Sebastiano play action on first down, going into the end zone. Caught Jeremiah Lorick. And the offense finds its mojo at just the right time. No flags on the field.
And, little bit of hand checking going on there between Lorick and the defender there.
And there's a flag on the field at the end, at the 20-yard line. Ineligible man downfield. It's like I knew I should have looked twice before we said with how many flags we've seen, especially against LA Valley tonight. 130 yards last week. They've shot themselves in the foot time and time again tonight.
We both caught ourselves looking, making sure, there's no flags? Oh, wait, there's a flag.
Well, so disappointing. It takes away a 25-yard touchdown throw from Sebastiano to Lorick. So they'll have to do it over 1st and 15. LA Valley 30 yards away from the end zone to start overtime. 1st and 15, Sebastiano stays in the gun. He's under pressure, has to get rid of it, and nearly intercepted.
And that's a bad decision by Sebastiano. Yes, he was about to go down. He's about to get sacked. It's better to take that sack and have 2nd and 25 than it is to throw an interception and then make it so all Desert has to do is kick a field goal to win.
And Austin Holt, who had one of the fumble recoveries late in the fourth quarter, was licking his chops as that ball started heading his way. And fortunately for LA Valley, his fingers just a little too slippery to secure the interception.
Just a little bit too far out of his reach. Some people like to say, well, that's why they play defense. Personally, I always thought the best athletes played on defense, but
tied at 21. LA Valley with it first in overtime, 2nd and 15 from the 30-yard line. Complete over the middle. It is caught by Palmer, and Palmer with room to run along the right numbers takes it to the 15. He's going to be right around the
Based
first
on that
down
spot,
marker.
They're saying it's a first down.
They're going to give it to him. So 15 yards for Palmer on the catch from Sebastiano, who has 76 yards in relief duty tonight.
Now that is a heck of a play design to get Palmer open, make an easy throw for your quarterback.
Yeah, Palmer has a 23-yard rushing touchdown tonight, now getting involved in the passing game. 1st and 10, LA Valley. From the Desert 15, looking to score first in overtime. Heading to the back of the end zone, wide open but overthrown. Oh boy, Dalton Ordonez. That was a gift wrap touchdown.
He was there. He was open. I couldn't tell. The throw from our angle looked okay. I thought maybe the route wasn't run exactly where it needed to be.
Well, the question is, how many reps did Sebastiano get during the week? Being the third-string quarterback, I guess is obviously not too many, particularly with the starting receivers. So 2nd and 10, learning on the job at the 15-yard line. Sebastiano, time to throw, goes to the end zone again. Receiver and cornerback get tangled up. Catch is made, but was the foot in bounds? Yes. Touchdown, Faison Knight, 15 yards on the fade from Sebastiano. This time it will count. I'm looking again for flags. I don't see any. I'm going to confirm with you, Luke.
I don't see any. Oh, there is a flag.
You got to be kidding.
It certainly looked like they threw a flag there at the end.
There's something on the field to the left side of the end zone. It looks white, though. It does not look yellow. And, well, the extra point team is out there, so the touchdown will stand. Craig Jones' extra point is up. It is good. The crowd is roaring.
There we go. Touchdown, not coming back. Love it.
No, the officials can't take this one away. Sebastiano threw 2 touchdowns on that drive. The second one will count. He found Faison Knight in the end zone. Knight was targeted a couple times early in the game, but then we didn't call his name, I think, at all in the second half, or hardly ever. But Faison Knight with the big catch in the end zone. LA Valley up 28-21, and now a defensive stand away from getting a 2-0 start to the season.
Absolutely. Faison Knight. Well, he caught a big touchdown last week, their first offensive touchdown in the game, in the win. Well, he could have caught the game-winning touchdown this week.
So second touchdown throw for Sebastiano tonight. First one in the fourth quarter to Jacobs. And Desert looking to answer. 1st and 10 from the 25. Quick throw to the left side. And in and out of the hands of Franklin Miller, the intended target. Craig Jones, who just made the extra point, came in and delivered a body shot from behind. Perhaps being the one to disjar that football. May have been caught otherwise. So no clock in overtime. Both teams get a possession beginning at the opponent's 25. LA Valley, a touchdown and an extra point on theirs. They lead by 7, 2nd and 10. Desert at the 25. Showman out of the gun, pump fakes once, going for the end zone as a wide open receiver and overthrew him. Woo. It was Romeo Gunt in coverage. He got beat. I'm trying to read that jersey number on the receiver. He's had his body turned to us the whole time. Want to see who it was who was being targeted.
I think that might have been Tony Williams, the running back.
I thought I saw 16, but that is... It'll be carry on Ringo. Yeah, it was Ringo who caught the touchdown in the fourth quarter to tie the game. So he will head to the sidelines. 3rd and 10. Desert at the 25, 4-down territory. Under pressure as Showman just gets rid of it to the right side. Franklin Miller, the only guy anywhere remotely near that football.
Well, this is it, Aaron. This is for all the marbles. 4th and 10. They need a first down. If they don't score a touchdown in this drive, the game is over. And Valley somehow hangs on for the win here.
And listen to that crowd on our crowd mic tonight. They are roaring, one play away from escaping with a victory in the home opener. Would extend the winning streak to 17 games for LA Valley, by far the longest in the state. Fans on their feet clapping. And Desert 4th and 10 from the Valley 25. Need the first down or the game is over. 28-21 LA Valley. Showman in the gun, best to his left, 3 receivers right, 1 to the left, throws over the middle. It's in the turf, incomplete. Craig Jones in coverage. Looking one more time to make sure no flags on the field. And that will do it. The dog pile will ensue on the field for LA Valley. They escape with the win, 28-21. Wow, that got pretty exciting there at the end.
That did, and we're just triple checking. No flags on the field. That is it. The game is over. The LA Valley Monarchs, they do win in overtime.
Well, LA Valley, a heavy favorite coming into this game. They looked like they were pulling away in the fourth quarter. The 21-13 lead, ball with 3 minutes to go, just have to run out the clock. They cough it up twice, 2 possessions in a row. Desert ties the game up with Showman hitting Ringo in the end zone, 19-yard touchdown pass. Then Best, 2-yard, 2-point conversion run, ties it up at 21. So LA Valley, 50 seconds left, 2 timeouts. Think either take a couple knees or maybe take a couple shots down the field. Instead, they cough it up again the very next play. And Desert with a chance to win it, a 28-yard field goal, except it was shanked, pulled wide to the left. Castellanos, his second missed field goal, sent the game to overtime. LA Valley got a quick touchdown. It was taken away by a penalty on the throw to Lorek. But then they eventually get in, hitting Faison Knight, 15-yard touchdown in the end zone. The defense stands up tall, 4 and out. Game over. LA Valley gets the win.
So now as we look ahead, they're going to be on a bye next week and then have a couple of road games against Glendale College and Victor Valley. But most importantly, with that bye week, is Judd going to be healthy? And if he's not healthy, well, Clarence Williams didn't do anything in this game to exactly make you think he's going to be their starter. In fact, they went with Sebastiano. So I would have to think he's going to get the reps and he's going to become the guy for this team.
Yeah, there were some accuracy issues in the second half with him out there. Underthrew a couple balls, threw an interception, but made the big throws when they counted. Made 2 of them in overtime. Threw the winning touchdown really twice. One of them called back on the penalty, but showed some good things, made some good decisions down the stretch. I've got to think he's going to be the guy if Kalawaya Judd can't go. He's got 2 weeks to get healthy, though. The coaches didn't disclose what the injury was at the half. Certainly don't want to speculate on what that was, but
it did appear that he was maybe not 100% to start things off, so maybe a couple of weeks to settle down.
No, and offensive coordinator Jason Vandiver told us as much, that he was not 100%, only about 80%. Coming into this game, they obviously thought he was a real serious risk for injury. They went to send him out there. They just thought his mobility was limited a little bit, and they said even in practice he looked like a guy who hadn't thrown the ball much in a year or lifted a weight. That it was going to be a process getting him up to speed, and obviously all eyes on LA Valley right now in the American Division. 11-0, only undefeated in the team in the state a year ago. So some pressure on Coach Matt White and these players to maintain the good thing that last year's squad, handed them, but haven't been pretty wins to start the year. But 2-0 is 2-0, and the bye week coming at a very good time.
A fortunate time for them, absolutely.
And Glendale coming up after the bye week. Glendale has been weak in the few years that I've covered the CCCAA. So you don't want to take any wins for granted, but fortunately that's not one of the tougher games on the schedule coming out of the bye week. So still have the luxury of time to figure things out, particularly on the offensive end before you get into conference play.
Absolutely. You at least saw signs of life. You saw some potential out there. We already know the defense is good. So if the offense can get it together, this is a team that has a chance to really compete, make some noise, win this conference once again, and be in the postseason.
Yeah, and as we saw tonight, no surprise here, defense and special teams are going to carry this team. The offense, no disrespect to them, but this is not a championship-level offense. Even when they play at their full potential, they are going to rely mostly on the defense and the special teams to get things done. Good returns by Lorick, and how about Bryson with a good return near the end of the fourth quarter, at least gave LA Valley a shot to maybe win it in regulation. But defensively, 3 interceptions and a strip sack for a fumble and a touchdown at close out the first half. So defense forced 4 turnovers tonight, get points as a result of them, and, as good a reason as any is why they won this game.
That's the story of the game right there.
So for Luke Hobbs, I'm Aaron Rosenberg saying good night. Thanks for joining us from LA Valley College. 2-0 to start the season, the winning streak at 17. Good night from Valley Glen. We'll catch you in about a month on sportsnetusa.net.